Do, 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 do. What is going on, folks? This is CJ here, and we're here for Comic Book Corner. It's been a while, been a long while. How are you? How you, sir?
Guten Tag, mein Dude, and Konnichiwa, my Fräuleins. We kept you waiting. There is a lot of stuff that we could talk about, um, but I'll
I
let
mean,
CJ drive the car
we,
for
we,
me.
we can. Let me ask you this. Have you been watching X Men '97? I guess before we
Yes, I
start.
have. Yes, I
Thoughts?
have. I'm surprised you haven't seen my thorough post when I'm fellaciating the show.
I think I've seen you say snippets of things inside of our group chat, but I've never. I think I probably missed your tweets about it.
Right. So, too long didn't read. My basic feelings about the show is that I think it is quite good. It is very good. It is akin to back when I first watched the original X-Men cartoon series.
Mhm.
I like that a lot of it is very character and story driven. Um, I like that it's doing what the old series did, where it took elements from different comic books and remixed them and made them fit the adaptation and the story that they're trying to tell.
Yeah.
The characters sound and act like the characters. And I know in 2024 that might be a shocking thing to you at home, just to viewers, but yes, character consistency is a thing that exists.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've said this several times in the group chat. I said this several times on Twitter. But if Bo DeMayo didn't physically hurt anybody, if he wasn't sending dick pics in the group Slack channel, give that motherfucker his job back. Y'all need to work out some
Yeah.
shit with HR because it's insane how good that show is.
Yeah, yeah. There's rumors of what possibly could happen, and we'll see. Like I said, companies have fired people for less, but I mean, if it was a situation where he created an environment that wasn't, you know, making people comfortable, and I don't mean in like the white people comfortable. I'm talking about like just, like just fucked up kind of thing. It's like, well, yeah, I get it. I'm
Well,
not
here's my
even.
thing. What is look? I mean, I wasn't in the room. I don't know this man. I don't know what the
Yeah, I don't know him
environment.
either. I
I
don't.
don't know. I don't know these people. I don't know none of those people that worked on this show from His Girl Friday.
Yeah,
However, when I hear people say, "Oh, he was difficult to work with," or he created a air quote toxic environment, then based on the output that I've seen, my question then becomes: did he create a toxic environment, or was he a demanding, hard nosed boss? Because if you need to put boots to asses to get a good product, then maybe some more boots need to be applied to asses. Is all I'm saying.
yeah, yeah. You can definitely tell there is a measure of, because I think what I like about it is that it does clean up some of the stuff that the old show kind of glossed over, but we let it go because we love, the '90s X-Men. It just was what it was and stuff. But it
Mhm.
definitely like plugs in like, oh, Morph, he's finally doing stuff that we wanted him to do from, from day
They,
one, but they've just been kind of just lingering with him.
they, they are finally doing things.
Yeah, yeah. It's not as Wolverine focused. Like it isn't.
That's insane. That is insane to me. I'm actually shocked. Though I'm trying to, though I'm wondering how much of that is a conscious choice or how much of that is Wolverine at the end of the day is stabby, slashy man, and how much of that are they willing to show? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I don't know whether they just listen to the fans and it's like, all right, the Marvel has been using Wolverine and so much stuff. Let's ease up on that for right now.
Which, if they have been listening to us, again, that is insane. I can't believe that's the world we exist in now, where
I mean,
feedback is being taken into account.
I mean,
Um,
credit to Fox on that one. Well, I can't say credit, but Fox was kind of the reason why people, when they think X Men, it was just Wolverine because that's how they highlighted those live action movies. Unfortunately, it's
for
like
better or for worse.
it's the Batman syndrome where Batman's the front of DC for better or worse, and it's like, well, you have other characters, right? Like, can we see those? That kind of thing. So that was, to be honest, that's the easiest of layups to course correct. Like, all right, let's just have
Basically,
ease back
basically.
Wolverine. But Magneto is the one that really like stunned me. They really like went there with that character. Like, oh, okay, I like this a lot.
Yeah, I think they're doing a really good job with Eric. I think they're doing a really good job with a lot of their characters. And another thing so far, and again, I'm knocking on wood because we this can all go south. Like again, this is still we're still in 2024. This is still
Shit
Disney.
happens.
Shit does happen, so shit can go south. But for right now, in the moment of time that I am in, uh, what I really appreciate about the show is that it's adult and mature in an actual adult and mature kind of way. And what I mean is that it's treating its characters with respect and sophistication. Like people have nuances. You can't swap one line for another person and have them say the same thing, and it wouldn't make sense. It has appropriate tones in scenes where the tone needs to be shifted, and it's not just needlessly like they're not dropping f-bombs or it's just like blood and gore for blood and gore's sake.
So basically,
It's
the '90s show.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
It's actually written with some nuance, with some depth, and it's not being LOL grimdark edgelord shit.
I mean,
Which
even the
people that's what people think adult means. It just means, oh, you just stabbing and fucking and killing. No, that's actually really immature.
dude, even the Jubilee episode I love because one of the things that the old show would do is that Jubilee episode, they literally would have stretched it out for like 20 something minutes. They were like, no, that's just one half of the episode. We're gonna shift it over now to Storm and her plight. It's like, oh, I was not expecting that. I thought this whole episode was gonna be filler, and it's like, oh, well, never mind. I feel dumb.
Though I do question why do they feel the need to separate the segments like that when you could have just made the episode them both and better maybe paced out and managed the scenes. Again, I'm not gonna backseat drive you, bro. I'm gonna let you cook in the kitchen.
You did 2 seasons, so we hope between now and boom, they do the 3rd season. Maybe, like you said, they work something out, or maybe it's enough. The passage of time is over to where it's like, all right, bro, you're back, but like whatever he did, good or bad or whatever, just easy, that kind of
like
thing.
I'm saying, as long as he didn't like put his hands on anybody, as long as he wasn't like doing anything, sending like any sexually charged inappropriate messages. If it's just that, oh, he's kind of a hard-nosed boss. If you don't give that motherfucker his job back, you don't talk to HR right now.
You can tell a hard-nosed person like, all right, dude, we love you, we love the passion. Just dial it down a notch, and we're
right.
good.
Right. And it feels like he came in with a vision, like this is my vision, this is what I wanted. Because a lot of Marvel projects recently, I know you've heard, is that a lot of it is I don't want to say build your own adventure because that's just rude. But like they figured that a lot of things can be ironed out in post, so they shoot and they do so much, and it's like kind of fly by night. Whereas it sounds like he had a strict vision, like this is what I want, this is what I want to do,
trajectory we want to go,
and this is what we're going to accomplish, this is what we're going to write, this is what we're going to draw, this is what we're going to film. We're not gonna do a fucking type A, type B ending when you pick it at the end. Like this is what I want.
I mean, I think it's the, and it is showing with Iger being back, the shift in, hey guys, we kind of got a little ahead of ourselves trying to throw out content for the sake of content, which goes into what you're saying, the whole this ending, that ending kind of thing and stuff. And it seems like Bo's like, no, let's go back to network television logic where we can actually formulate it, which is ironic because on the streaming side of things, I think the creator of Fallout, or I don't know if it's Fallout, one of the shows, he was mentioning like, yo, it's bullshit why we're putting all these shows out in one hit because it kind of just kills the enjoyment of it and stuff, because you got the content creators that want to be the first to finish the whole show. And I can say, look, we can both attest to this. Remember House of Cards and how everybody was binging it that whole weekend just so they can like talk about it.
Right.
And then a week later, it just stopped.
Stop talking. I remember binging all the Netflix Marvel shows, and that, like, I'm gonna be honest, that is torturous. Like having to watch all them shits like back to back to back to that, so you don't get spoilers.
3
right?
Hell,
bro, sitting through all those episodes of Defenders, I'm like, oh my god, bro.
Defenders, Jessica Jones season 2 and 3 were drag. Like at least Luke Cage is like, all right, get it over with. But like,
and I'm doing that shit.
But it's just you can't. I can't imagine a world where X-Men 97 drops all of it in one hit, because it's like the only thing I will knock Disney is this, and I don't know whether it was you or Shark that said this. Them putting it on the same day as Bad Batch fucks over the Bad Batch, because this season is actually really good for Bad Batch, but nobody's talking about it because oh shit, X-Men 97, and it's like you could have put this on Saturday morning. And that would have been great because you, number one,
synergy.
I'm saying vibes, and also new episodes on Saturday. Cool, Bo. Hey, I'm in.
You cooking with grass there, and it's on the weekends. Like it's like you can have your breakfast. You could have marketed that shit perfect. Like it's Saturday morning, catch a new episode of X-Men 97 with your bowl of cereal. You could have played into that marketing.
Wednesday, but it's like Bad Batch is like, am I a joke to you? I'm like, Disney,
And
and this is not the first time they've done this. They've done this before too, where I'm like,
they're
you kind of overshadowed your other stuff. You have two good things here. Why are you
yeah,
space it
yeah,
out? Like,
yeah. Now that you mentioned it, I'm thinking back and rewinding. Like Disney does a lot of that cannibalizing their audience.
Mighty Ducks came out, and there was another show that they had that was like an original series, and it like the Mighty Ducks thing overshadowed it. And I was like, it might have been Turner and Hooch, I think, but it was just like
There was a Turner and Hooch show, bro.
it was actually pretty good. Our man,
I
our man,
didn't,
our
I
man,
didn't fucking know that, bro.
our man
Are
Jack
you,
from SPD is
are
like,
you serious, bro?
oh, he's in it. That show is funny. It's
Are
funny.
you fuck? I did. How did I not know this show existed? Like, what
I
the
thought you
fuck?
might have just saw it and just didn't care, but
No,
dude,
no, I didn't know there was a Turner and Hooch show, bro. What the fuck?
Josh Peck
What?
plays. Yes, he's in it, and he has the dog. It's actually pretty funny. It's like, yo, this
What?
is actually not bad. Like,
I would fucking watch that. I love Josh. What the fuck, bro?
that's what I'm saying. But they put Mighty Ducks in that dropped on the same day. I'm like, but everybody's gonna care about Mighty Ducks because it's Mighty fucking Ducks. Like, it basically overshadows Turner and Hooch. Like, it's like, damn, like, just why would you do that? You know, and it's just, I think, didn't that happen to Willow too?
Uh, what didn't was it Andor that came out at the same time as Turner?
Andor, it was Andor and then Willow, and I'm like, why would you drop Andor, which everybody is loving, and then Willow, which is actually good too, but you dropped it on the same day, and one is going to overshadow the other, and it's like, why would you do that? Like, it's just, are you looking it up?
I'm watching that shit, man.
But nah, this is it's definitely one of those situations where I'm just like, why would you do that? Like I said, Bad Batch has been really good this season. I don't know if you watched it or not. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, it's really, really fucking phenomenal this season. I like the Bad Batch. Like, it's not like the greatest show ever. It's not gonna light the world on fire, but like as a standard, action cartoon is actually really good.
Yeah, like they're getting you, and that's the other thing too. Again, weekly format. You've made me invested in these characters, these clones over time. Like, and I can't imagine binging Bad Batch and getting that same effect, because every week I'm like, okay, what's happening here? What's going to happen? What's going to, like, you got me invested, and it's just, I think you said it best. It's funny how life is a circle. We're back to network TV now.
Isn't that and like it's the right way to be? Like, it's
streaming
like
services are showing commercials now for packages now, and I'm like,
now streaming services have channels. Like, we're just, time is a circle, bro. We just going around and around. There's,
it really is. I was just like, as soon as they sat there, it was like, yeah, we're gonna put ads on the Peacock. So I'm like, so commercials. We're back to commercials. But I never cared about commercials, but you know how people now, they're like, ew, commercials. I'm like, that's network TV, bro. Like, the fuck? Like, did you not grow up in the era of TV?
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I've become commercially adverse because I've been without them for so long. Whenever I see them, I'm like, oh, fuck.
I'm mixed. As long as, it's mixed. As long as it's not like YouTube where it's like, let me give them a 2 minute. It's like, all right, can you just give me like
a little razzle dazzle on them?
Can you give me a 15-second one? I could, even 30 seconds I'm fine with. If you give me a 2 minutes, I'm like,
here's the thing. If your advertising interrupts what I'm watching, I'm less likely to buy your product.
Especially where they cut the commercial in. I'm like, you could just throw this 2 minutes at the beginning of the episode so I can watch the whole episode. I could tolerate that at least.
Yeah, I'm glad Amazon does that. When they said they're gonna get ads, I was like so nervous. I was like, oh no. But it's like, oh, it's just a couple in the beginning and I can watch my show. Okay. I can
that. It builds up the tension of like, all right, come on, baby, that kind of stuff.
Knock on wood, because this is corporations and that shit can go south any minute.
Well, I am looking sideways at Netflix with that, and I'm like, hey, Netflix, you were supposed to be the streaming service with no commercials, so why are we doing commercials again?
We threw money at everybody, now we're out, so gotta recoup those losses.
At least Amazon has an excuse. At least Disney Plus has an excuse, because they weren't like defined by like being the streaming without ads option. It's like, what's your excuse, Netflix? What are we doing here?
Money. It's always the issue. It's
money. Yeah. Look, it is what it is and such. We talked about on Morphin Medicast, which I'll have up very soon, or if you watch live, you can.
Power Rangers. By the way, shout out to you for the phrase passive aggressive xenophobia. That's entered my lexicon. I'm using that shit in my everyday life now.
I mean, I feel we see it online all the time. Especially but
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You called that shit.
we talked about Power Rangers coming down, but on the comic book side, like Marvel and DC and all that stuff, the Krakoa era has finally like hit its ending point, and it's kind of funny how it just limped to the finish line, and you're like, what happened? And we've talked about this a couple of times where I felt Sword of X was like where they really kneecapped themselves. They got a little too much dip on their chip at that point, because it's like, why did you make that a year-long arc? Because I got the trade paperback for it, and reading it, I'm like, shit could have been like 6-7 issues tops.
Could have been 4. Back in the 90s, this would have been like a good 2-issue romp. And we would have been back.
It's like, what's Apocalypse doing today? And it's like, oh, okay, cool, 3-parter, gotcha. And then that's it. But they made that shit a year long. I'm like, and this is where it's gonna start kneecapping itself. Oh boy.
And it didn't help when Jonathan left, and then the writers that they brought on to the line were not the best. They were not the best, and it felt like they weren't interested in telling stories. They were interested in telling, I don't know,
shock and awe.
Not even that. It was just like a lot of motherfuckers just standing around milling about.
I mean, it's funny. The main blind book was bad to me, but the side books were better, and I was like, that's
what was
weird.
What was that book with Kitty and she was Captain
the
pirate captain?
Yeah, I call it pirate Kitty.
That was pretty decent. It's been so long because I had, I dipped out. Like I pulled the cord.
Rightfully so. Like there's a point where it's like I was picking and choosing after that point. So it was like that's when I peeped. I was like, how's the like the side books, like the whole thing with the clone X-Men and all that stuff? Those books were great, but your main blind book went from we were here to just nosedived.
Was it Duggan that took over?
It might have been Duggan, I think.
Because was he the one who had the Captain Krakoa arc, or was that who's the guy who did the Wicked and Divine? What's his name? Gillen, Karen Gillen.
Gillen.
Was that him or Duggan that did the?
I believe it was Gillen. Wow.
Okay.
Gillen.
Okay. I'm just asking.
I'm just wilding because this literally so we're back to Professor X being an asshole now, making deals with
what's that meme? He always was.
Yeah, like this dude. Okay, so basically he made a deal with Orchis to spare the mutants, and they can do whatever the fuck and Orchis can do whatever the fuck they want, because basically they turned Nimrod into what the fuck is that? Amazo, basically.
You mean Nimrod?
Yeah, Nimrod. They turned Nimrod into Amazo in now, where he's like all knowing and
keep it in universe. Keep it in universe, bro. Super adaptoid. Keep it in.
Yeah, he's a super adaptoid, but he was never like that before. But now they just figure, hey, let's do something special with Nimrod and make him a super adaptoid and stuff, where his whole mission is killing mutants, and now he wants to kill mutants in each dimension. And I'm like, okay, sure.
That sounds pretty cool.
Sounds cool, but it's just the execution of it is just like, sure.
I don't know, man. I kind of fuck with Stone Nimrod, Steve Austin.
No, I'm with it. It's just how we got there. It was just shaky, and it's like,
and I feel like a lot of it, like you said, is like rushing and limping to the finish line because they gotta wrap all this shit up because they're gonna shut it down.
Because they just announced the whole X-Men Blue and Gold books that's coming out soon by what's her face? God,
the redhead chick. Gail Simone.
Oh, yeah, Gail Simone, because she announced it and they did the thing, and everybody was like, "Yay, Gail's doing the X-Men book!" But at the same time, it's like, well, I guess Gillian and them are on the clock right now. Like, yo, wrap this shit up right now, buddy.
I kind of feel bad for them, just a little bit, because I'm like, if y'all were allowed some space to breathe, these could have been some really awesome stories.
That editorial, man, it's
a
not forgiving. It's not forgiving.
I mean. You think it'd be nicer because they fired all of them. Oh, I'm sorry. We still talking? Is that? Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
I mean, it's not like we're sponsored by Marvel Comics, so we're good.
I mean, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. They'll listen to one episode and go, "Nah, not these guys.
Not today. Not them. We're not doing
nah. Get them niggers out of here."
Oh man, have you read any DC comics? Because I've been like 2 months out of it on DC Comics lately.
Bro, I'm at the monthly game, baby.
I thought you might have dipped the toe, poked your head in, like, what's going on,
Well,
DC?
I thumb through some when I go in to pick up some Ultimate Spider-Man. That's like literally the only thing I'm reading regularly. Oh, and I stick my head in an Immortal Thor.
Yeah.
Right now, it's pretty crazy. They're doing the Absolute Power event where Amanda Waller is mustache twirling like a motherfucker, where she's trying to consolidate power and get laws against superheroes and turn in public mistrust.
Superhero Registration Act, but DC style.
No, not registration act. She just wants the motherfuckers gone.
Oh,
there's
okay.
no registration.
Never mind.
She wants them exterminated. She wants to.
She going Friends of Humanity, basically.
Bring power back to the people, so to speak.
Does that include metahumans?
She does not want powered individuals. From what I can see and what I'm picking up from bits and pieces that I've seen.
So that kind of nixes her Suicide Squad team, basically, unless you're
not
powered.
Because Amanda Waller is Amanda Waller. She still utilizes them for missions for her goals. There's a decentish book I heard going on right now, I think, with Dreamer on the Suicide Squad. It looks pretty interesting.
Okay. Cool.
I might pick up the trade. I don't know yet.
Makes sense. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I gotta catch up on DC stuff because I've been out of the loop. Because if it,
now I heard the Superman book right now is really good.
Who's on that?
What's his face? He was the guy who did the World arc. Gosh, what is his name? I am blanking on his name. Somebody in the chat help me out. What is his name? Like,
yeah, Gail Simone's really good. She's been on. She's done a lot of books prior to this whole X-Men book. She's actually she's consistent.
She has her ups and downs. At the worst, it'll just be okay.
Yeah,
be passable.
She has a mode and it works.
As long as you can like rein Gail in and keep her on target, it'll be fine. And that's
any comic book writer. It's like, hey.
I think Gail more than most. Like it's a list you can go. Yeah, I think if you can. Like I say, it's not a long list, but she's one of the ones. Like if you can keep them on target, you can keep them on target. It'll be all right.
What's funny? So I saw somebody post up. I think it was like 2011. It was like a 2011 DC poster and like Green Lantern's in front. And I had a moment of clarity. I was like, oh shit, I forgot Green Lantern was like the face of DC Comics at one point. That whole property. You throw a rock and you're hitting something with Green Lantern. I totally forgot that was a thing. And then it's like
also around when the movie was about to come out, wasn't it? Maybe. Or when the movie had come out?
Probably. 2011. Yeah,
2011. And that book was really popular because Jeff John would turn this into like a little mini industry with the different color Lantern Corps.
Oh yeah. People, I think all of us readers were eating it up. Like, there's different rings. Oh my god,
bro, take me back there, bro. I want to go back.
The cosplay in conventions was here. It was up there. Like, you throw a rock, every spectrum of Green Lantern cosplayers popped up at conventions around that time. It was insane.
Take me back, bro.
Lex Luthor as an Orange Lantern was a thing. I actually liked that.
Blue Lantern Flash.
Yeah.
Star Sapphire Wonder Woman.
Black Lantern Batman, I believe.
That was during was it during Black Lantern?
Yeah, Blackest Night. It was Black Lantern. Yeah. It was. Yeah, they were getting a little interesting with the Lantern rings, and Green Lantern is starting to slowly kind of crawl back.
Hopefully, I heard that book with John Stewart's pretty good. Was it War Journal or War?
Yeah, I think it's like Green Lantern War Journal, I believe. Yeah, I think it's Green Lantern War Journal or something like that.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty dope.
Yeah. Did you see Deadpool Wolverine trailer? Have you watched any of it?
I did. I've watched it a couple of times now. What are your thoughts, sir?
I like going. It feels like we're gonna all go into it in a very unknown way, which I think is great because I feel like they keep it real. I don't think the trailer really showed me much of anything that I can speculate on, which I'm happy about. So because I know, what was it? Pyro was supposed to be in the movie because I think there was a couple of I think
saw a couple of frames of them.
Yeah, he saw a couple of frames. So I'm like, well, so it looks like there might be old X-Men characters. I don't know who that might pop up in this movie, which I'm fine with. I think was it Cassandra Cain is the main bad guy apparently.
Cassandra Nova,
my bad. Cassandra Nova is the main bad guy, which I'm like, all right, this is interesting, but like
Speaking of that shit, man, I saw some people, and it's like I know these niggas don't read comic books. They're like, oh my gosh, they gender swapped Professor Xavier and made her evil. I'm like, oh my god, bro, like you fucking tourist, like you fucking.
it's like they lost the plot.
They just see enemies everywhere now. Apparently, they just punching in shadows now.
So those that don't know, Cassandra Nova basically was a entity that spawned from Charles Xavier and ended up creating a body for herself that pretty much looked like Professor Xavier.
She was his twin that
Mhm.
he ate in the wound because he sensed her innate evil and tried to psychically attack her, and that didn't work. So he ate her and absorbed her. So he's Sukuna. Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah, yeah. And she manifests the body out of spite, rightfully so.
As you do.
As you do to look like pretty much Professor Xavier and such. And she, in the comics at least, she was behind that Genosha massacre, essentially, the whole genocide and stuff. Obviously, in '97 they switched it up to where it's Bastion. Spoilers for that show. It's Bastion and Sinister, but stuff. But in the comics, she was behind the Genosha massacre that happened and such. So I'm interested, but like I said, I'm just gonna go to the movie like, well, I'm just gonna enjoy it. This is what people wanted for so long, So hey, let's see where it goes. I'm liking that Hugh Jackman is back. They put him in the Wolverine suit, and such. Both with sleeves and no sleeves.
Show me the mask.
Get him in a goddamn mask.
Put the mask on immediately.
It's a small gesture, but just give me a mask. Just give me that at least. Fuck, Thor at least gave me that twice. I'm at it, but come on, just give me Wolverine in the mask one time. Hugh Jackman, something because you're like 90% there. That mask really, that really pops off. Which I'm still mad that we didn't. They showed that in the Wolverine and nothing afterwards. I'm like,
right? Come on,
why would you show me that?
Why I can't have it?
Thank you. What the fuck? Oh man. James Gunn apparently teased Green Lantern.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he teased a picture, which means that I guess James Gunn is like, hey, Green Lantern will be happening in this new world, which I'm
isn't Guy Gardner in his Superman movie?
I believe so, which that's actually pretty cool. So clearly Green Lanterns exist in this new world already, which is great. So we don't have to do no origins; they just exist. So, have you watched any of the Crisis on Infinite Earth animated shows? I know part 2 just came out,
just dropped. Yeah, not yet. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm waiting for them all to come out so I can watch it all together. Because Crisis on Infinite Earths is one of my favorite stories.
They I would say this, Prime. This isn't spoiling it. I would say part 2 does a great job of showing the direness of Crisis.
I mean, it has to do a lot better than what the CW gave me. So
I know, but this one actually, it's like dire. It's actually it hits the hopelessness of it, where it's like, damn, they might not win this. What feeling is this?
Zetsubo.
No, but I love it because it's like there's no when the heroes save the day and that no, it feels like there is kind of this mystery of how are they going to overcome this now? This is I'm intrigued.
Now that you say something, is it can I buy it or is it on digital?
It might be digital right now. I know it dropped digital last week sometime.
Yeah, it looks like. Oh wait, no, I think it's both.
Oh, it's both?
Yeah, I think they're both. Yeah, it looks like they're both out.
Yeah,
part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, part 1 and part 2 is on Max right now, I believe. I think it's on Max, I believe.
Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do since you talking, I might. No promises. I might go ahead and just get part 1 and part 2 and watch them.
Okay. Let me know what you think.
I don't know, Pimpin. I gotta think about it. Because I want to do what they do because I know they're gonna come out with the complete edition. You know what I mean? They always do.
Hey, hold off for your sanity if that's the case. I would just point out they really captured that. So just
It's one of my favorite stories, CJ.
I know. I'm surprised you didn't see some of the clips that were floating around from that.
So. Oh, bro, I've been fucking Matrix dodging spoilers.
Prime, guess what? Your boy Caleb the Hunter, his movie got moved back.
Caleb the Hunter.
You said it, not me. I'm just saying. It's coming out Christmas this year now instead of August. So
we'll find out.
Merry Christmas, Prime. Merry Christmas.
I know, right? Thanks, Sony. I appreciate it.
Look, I'm taking the piss out of it, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of interested a little bit just to see what this like. I'm put this way. I'm way more interested in this than Morbius and Madam Web. Like those two, I was like, I ain't watching this shit. Like, all right, you already took this one. I'm like, I kind of want. It's like Venom, where you're like, I kind of want to see what this is.
CJ. Movie Craven looks like a henchman for video game Craven.
Look, bro. Craven in that Spider-Man 2 game, that's some scary ass shit. Look, I didn't need to see it, but the fact that he took down basically damn near all the Sinister Six minus Dr. Octavius, that's some scary shit right there.
I'm glad you gave that man full respect and called him Dr. Octavius.
It's the nerd in me, dog. It just is what it is.
I don't know. Maybe it's a Spider-Man to me. I always call the motherfucking Doc Ock.
Doc Ock, I don't know. But the fact that oh damn, I think your picture's frozen. But anyways, but nah, just the fact that he took out like the Sinister Six is just like in and of itself like scary as fuck to me. I'm like, wow, but I don't get that from his live action counterpart, like at all.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like, I'm not saying he has to be scary, but like I said, I understand where you're coming from, where it's like, that don't look like a guy that I should be necessarily scared of. And I'm not even talking from like a visual thing. I think visually he looks fine, but it's like, what is it that's going to make me be like, oh shit, like Spider-Man need to watch out for this guy, that, you know, and I don't really get that per se. That's my summation of it, but I'm curious on where it's going to go. So.
That's fair. I definitely I like the actor. Like I like him a lot.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's great.
So he hopefully should be all right in the role, but we'll see.
I just want to see how they're going to do Rhino, because as soon as they showed my man's hands transforming, I was like, weird change, but all right, let's see what happens. I kind of wish we just got a guy in the suit. It could be all so simple.
I mean,
you could have just had Ultimate Spider-Man shit where it's just like Rhino and just have a guy in a little mech suit. I would have been fine with that too.
And again, like I'm gonna need them to triple down at the end of this movie. I'm gonna need Vulture, Morbius to pull up to Craven and be like, "Hey, man,
we're starting a team."
So what are we? Some kind of insidious sextuplet?
Oh my god. You know what's interesting? It's like with X-Men 97, everybody was thinking that maybe that we could get the 90s Spider-Man getting a revival, and I was like,
pump y'all's brakes. Calm thine titties. Is gonna be all right.
Yeah, I get it, because it did kind of end on an ambiguous, like, hey, we're searching for Mary Jane, but I'm like, so that's just one more season of Spider-Man that you want, basically? Is that what we're getting? I mean, cool. I mean, you know, it's also funny too, because when people saw the recent X-Men 97 episode, I saw one guy that was pissed off because he was like, well, this is stupid, because in the Spider-Man animated series, him and Red Skull were trapped in that dimension. I'm like, the 90 shows never really gave two shits about interconnectivity like that.
Yeah, they kind of played it fast and loose there, bro.
Because Avengers United They Stand, Cap popped up in one episode fighting.
That wasn't tied though. That was separate.
No, it was supposed to, because it was supposed to be the X-Men animated series tied into it.
But they didn't. Those episodes never aired, so it doesn't count.
I know. But I'm just saying, but they played it fast and loose, so it's like, Rogue and Captain America seen each other. I'm like, that tracks.
That's fine.
Like,
Captain
like
America was with the Wolverine episode. It's all good.
yeah,
It's all good.
you know,
That's fine.
Rogue was very petty with that. Just
Though I will agree, like a lot of people that I experience some frustration where it feels like a lot of other characters and they pop up in X-Men stories, they have to be written out of character to make the X-Men look good.
I think it depends. Because it could be because it's either you get the heavy-handed approach or you get the whole okay that tracks for the character because it's not as heavy-handed with it. Like Second Coming, right, where Bastion had basically took all of Alcatraz and put it in a dome, right. So Stark, Steve, and Mister Fantastic come up there and they're like, "Hey, we can help you." And Cyclops is like, "So where the fuck were you at like a while back when all this shit was popping off?" You know, and it's like okay, I get where you're coming from, Scott, but you do realize like the Avengers were like handling a terrorist called, Norman Osborn running
right,
Shield.
right.
Like,
When it said that shit, like it's so fucking weird. It's like when they said that shit, it should be like, and where the fuck were you doing in Oklahoma during siege? Where were y'all?
right. So it's like the door swings both ways on the pettiness a little bit, and I get because it's the X-Men, they're marginalized. There's that whole they have a right to kind of feel some way double more so than just capping them. But at the same time, it's like it's not like Mr. Fantastic was sitting back like, well, that's crazy what's happened to those mutants. Hey son, you want to go out for a walk today? It's not like they were doing that shit. Like
to his mutant son. Wow, that's crazy. So close, turn you off, close the blinds. It's okay.
go get in Herbie right now. We'll go for a drive.
We're gonna get some ice cream and some chocolate frosty milkshakes.
Yeah, it's just that. So it's like in this show, I get because if you really think about it, like it wasn't until Civil War where Cap really was kind of on like, yo, I ain't gonna follow the government like that. So like him
That
kind of
wasn't.
you don't think so? Because I
That's
felt in the
been
90s.
Cap has been consistently like, I'm not loyal to the government. I'm loyal to the American people in the dream. Like when he bust up, like he retired from Captain America when he found out there was a fucking cabal led by the president who was not Reagan.
Oh, that's right, because that's how U.S. agent became a thing.
So yeah, Captain's consistently like, and fuck the government. That's why it made sense in Civil War. And it was like, we doing this, and Cap was like, nah, fuck y'all.
No. Did we give him due process? No.
Suck my Star Spangled Dick. So that's Cap's whole. That's his whole MO.
It's like, well, sir, you have the red, white, and blue, so you're gonna have to run that shield back there if that's the case. Which I would say that was probably the funniest and pettiest shit in the MCU when it was like, hey, Cap, since you're a convict, I'm gonna need that shield. That's cool. I don't need that shit anyway. I'm like, wow, okay, I'm with that.
Exactly. Steve Rogers is with that shit. Please believe. My Steve Rogers is with this shit. Please.
But it's like, I guess for me, on one hand, I understand the anger, but it's like at the same time, it's like it's not like they were heavy-handed with it. It's just his angle was just basically like, look, I just don't
like I said,
I don't want to rock the boat here. I get where you're coming at, Rogue. It's just
right. Like I said, it's not make or break. It's just something that I observe, and it's kind of annoying. You know what I mean?
If he said something equivalent to you people, I'd be like, all right, that's not Cap. What are we doing here? Like, come on.
Like, right.
Because the comic books will do that sometimes. I'm like, okay, Cap is many things, but don't you people his ass. Like, come on, bro. Like, Cap has blind spots. Like, I always go back to like when Bendis had the New Avengers go to Harlem, and Cap was trying to like talk to the kids, and Luke was like, hold up, I know you're Captain America, but like this is my neighborhood. Just fall back, Steve. Just fall back. I'm you in this neighborhood. All right. And I'm like, that tracks. All right, cool. Because Steve doesn't know. He thinks because he's Captain America, everybody's gonna talk to him. I'm like, they're not gonna talk to you, dog, because you had that red, white, blue on. Sorry. That's just what it is.
Unfortunately, what it is, exactly.
It is what it is. Sorry to tell you, So apparently also lastly, DC might be doing a Justice League International movie.
I can't say I'm that surprised because I feel like Justice League International, that tone works best for James Gunn.
Yeah, it was because that was a very hodgepodge group of folks. Because wasn't Stargirl and like Mr. Miracle on that team? Or I'm thinking of Justice Society that had
Stargirl was on Justice Society. Yes, Mr. Miracle was on International. So like it's more of a
Wasn't didn't Brave and the Bold do basically a JL International?
Basically, team? That was the Brave and the Bold squad.
Okay,
minus one or two people.
Yeah, so if they're doing that, then I'm like, okay, that could be interesting.
I think that's a better fit.
You know the weird part? I had in Black Adam that Justice Society squad on paper looked okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't hate it. It was just like, all right, this is
I
Justice
think
Society. Fine.
they had good characterization. They're some of the best parts of the movie. I'm upset that that was the best Doctor Fate that we're probably ever going to get. Uh,
That's Pierce Brosnan going with the motions, and that's
that's
the
what I'm
best you're
saying.
going to get out of him. And it could be,
That's
you're right, it could have been like on some, like, it could have been up here. And it's like,
no, I'm
okay.
saying it's.
Mike, Mike.
I'm
Oh,
saying that's Doctor Fate we're gonna have. Like he's a great Doctor Fate. Like I don't think we're
oh,
gonna
okay,
get
okay.
again. Like I
Oh,
love this Doctor Fate. Like I
oh, okay.
love
I
the
thought
way
you
he
meant like it
acted.
was. I thought you meant shortcomings. Like, was it like short? I was like,
No, no, I mean like this is phenomenal. We're not gonna get this good ever again.
it's like,
That's what I mean.
hey, look, if James can get if James can get Pierce Brosnan back as Doctor Fate in this new revised universe, that'd be great. I love it.
Did you know they cut out the scene where it went to his nephew, not his nephew, but his godson, what's his name? Who was the new 52 Doctor Fate?
Really? They cut that out?
They cut it out. They cut the helmet going out to him. I'm like, wow, y'all some
Oh man.
hoes. Y'all
Well,
some straight up hoes.
leadership at WB was definitely out the 1 foot out the door at that point. So they were just like, it
They
is
were
what it
pulling a
is. You saw what happened to Shazam. Shazam 2, as much as I thought it was an okay movie, it was just like we could have got Black Adam and shit.
as somebody who's followed these characters for literally all my life.
Yeah.
I really do feel some type of way watching how they are being used in these adaptations, as well as how they were being used as like bargaining chips for people who are desperate for having their own franchises and who don't understand the characters. Like like I know I say this a lot, and I probably sound like a broken record, bro. But it is insane to me that we lived in a universe where a Shazam Captain Marvel movie came out right after a Black Adam movie, and they don't reference each other at all.
Well, one
That
movie
is
tries its best to say, hey, we have this open chair over here. And they reference like, yo, that was formerly Black Adam, yada yada. And you're like, okay, this is okay, cool. And then Black Adam is like, oh, that didn't happen. We're just gonna ignore that. I'm like, what? Wait,
that is
what?
insane, bro. That is insanity, man. Even the fucking standalone Joker movie references or has fucking Batman illusions and Bruce Wayne in it. Come on, dog. Come on, man.
Dude. Blue Beetle recently came out, and that line from George Lopez about Batman, I cackled. I was like, come on, bro. Like that movie didn't have to reference Ted Cord as hard as it did, but it did.
They not only referenced Ted Cord and Dan Garrett, they treated them with respect. That shit blew my mind. Like they weren't like bumbling or they didn't go, the white Blue Beetles. They didn't do none of that dumb shit.
It was
You
just
know what
like,
I
hey,
mean?
look at this guy. He has his own.
Like
It's like, oh, okay, shit.
these are my predecessors. They had their costumes in glass cases, a sign of fucking respect.
Man,
that is insane,
all the Blue Beetle gadgets, all that shit
bro.
was right there.
And I will never forgive any of you hoes for that movie failing. I hate you all. You all make me sick.
blame WB, but also
I'm
blame also the fans that were just like,
I'm blaming
I don't know,
every
man.
single
It looks
person.
too much like a freaking direct DVD movie. Who the fuck cares? Watch the goddamn thing. What the hell are we
Shut
talking
your
about?
ass down. We got a comic accurate Blue Beetle costume played by that dope ass young man from Cobra
Cobra
Kai.
Kai.
I hate you all.
Look. Hey, if they do Justice League International, I'm gonna need James Gunn to bring that kid in on that team. And
you know
like,
what? If he's the Blue Beetle on that shit, you get us a decent booster gold. We cooking with some gas now, baby.
Yo, I'm ready and waiting for James Gunn to cast Booster Gold. I hope it's it's gonna be good, but it's just like I'm kind of curious on who James gonna get. I really am curious because this is a good segue actually. Still kind of pissed that WB just said, "Hey, Donald Faison, you want to be Booster Gold? Great!" And I'm like, "That's a good actor that could be Booster Gold," and it's cut short.
And it's gone. Wah, 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 wah.
I saw the vision. I was like, Donald Faison could be a great Booster Gold, and they took it from us immediately.
And I feel like they could have gave us a movie, dog. We could have got
Something like
like a 2-hour movie. You know what? I'm actually surprised like that hasn't been announced. So they have. Wouldn't that just be a waste since it's all gone now? Like we can wrap it all together in the
yeah.
final finale movie. We can call the shit Twilight of the Superheroes.
For
Wink if you get the reference.
first off, that is money if you think about it. Zach Braff is Ted Court. That's money in a way, in a meta way of like, oh, we got another audience that loves Scrubs and those two. Bring them on in, and it's like that could work. That could work.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I will feel like maybe that'll be too much of a wink, wink, nod to the
Yeah,
audience, and how much of that would override the
who Ted
how
Court
much
is as a character.
right? How much that will override who the characters are, and will we be watching the characters, or will we be just watching the fucking Scrubs reunion? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I would like it, but yeah,
Which
you
then,
know what?
as
I
I'm
didn't think
talking,
about that. Yeah,
but as I'm talking, I'm like, well, essentially their characters on Scrub was Booster Gold and Ted Cord, so I'm like, you know what I mean? You
that
know
was a
what I mean?
bromance. That was a bromance. It's like, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I mean, look, there was a was it Brave and the Bold, or was it Justice League Unlimited, where he said he was just going back in time because he missed his friend or something. Was it? I'm trying to remember.
and I probably had to be Brave and the Bold because Blue
Yeah,
Beetle was not in Unlimited. I don't think he was only in the comics. I believe
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
check my math. I don't
So it
think
might,
his movie.
so it might have been Brave and the Bold, but Booster Gold, his was like, why'd you go back in time? Because I want to see my friend. And I'm like, that kind of brought a tears to my eye in a way. Like, goddamn, like it wasn't for some like, oh, I want to win some money. He's like, no, I just want to see my friend. He died. I want to see him again. It's like,
Bro,
all right. I was like,
bro,
well, goddamn, like,
bro. Even Smallville gave us some of that Blue Beetle Booster Gold razzle dazzle.
so me and Prime are here to talk about the Arrowverse.
Rest in peace. I'm doing Bozo Watch. I'm smoking the Arrowverse pack.
RIP, but also smoking the pack, because let's be real about the Arrowverse. I find it amazing that, look, we're old. We've lived through so many iterations of different things of superhero TV, you could say, right?
I've seen it all, CJ. I was there when it was written.
You know, even when we were youngins in the 80s, we got
I've seen Nightmans. I've seen your Generation X's.
no. Even when we were youngins before that, we got the residuals of our parents' era with the Incredible Hulk and the trial of an Incredible Hulk and that kind of stuff.
Adam
right?
West Batman.
Yeah, we got the residuals of that Wonder Woman, right? But
I
then
religiously watched the black and white Superman on Nick at Night. Religiously.
I watched a little bit of it, but I really the 66 Batman was my jam. Like you couldn't like that shit came on regular TV, and I was like, I'm watching it like immediately.
And to be honest, whenever that show and the 66 Batman came on, it was on syndication. I stopped whatever the fuck I was doing.
I kind of wish. I'm glad we got a comic version of Batman 66 and Wonder Woman and that, you know, that and the Christopher, like they did the Christopher Reeves Superman. They kind of
it prints money. It prints
money. It worked. I mean, for me, reading it, it worked. I was like, this was kind of something I kind of thought about as a kid, but I ignored it because you know.
Do you remember all those Wizard magazines when they would do like live action castings and they have like the Christopher Reeve Superman or like the Adam West or Michael Keaton Batman, the Linda Carter Wonder Woman, the John Wesley Snip Flash?
Yeah.
Take me back, bro. Take me back,
though. You get to the 90s and we got the John Wesley Snip Flash, which was an ambitious endeavor because it came out during that same period of time that we were getting Tim Burton Batman and the Schumacher and stuff.
Right. 1000% ape the Burton Batman style. 1000%. Complete with Danny Elfman doing music, I believe.
On the WB side, you know, we had stuff like Nightman, as Prime said. I watched that show because I was like, who is this character? You know, and that was Malibu
jazz music.
That was Malibu, yeah, Malibu. And I remember seeing Malibu comic characters in the back of certain comic books that I read. So
I watched Ultra Force.
Yeah, hey, look, we all watch Ultra Force. All right, it was in my eyes, it was Great Value Wildcats to me a little bit.
Great Value Justice League.
See, I didn't think about it as Justice League until now, but because I watched Wildcats and I thought Wildcats was the better show than Ultra Force, you know.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I won't argue your statement there.
But we had, you know, we had that, but like you had the Nick Fury, Agent of Shield, the David Hasselhoff one that everybody talks, which, okay, it's bad, but there was an enjoyment factor a little bit to it, in a way.
Right. Like I don't think because we're so spoiled for choice now, I don't think people comprehend that we were living in the wilderness years, man.
We had Mutant X, which was basically X-Men. They couldn't do an X-Men show because of licensing, but they did Mutant X, and they alluded that Mutant X kind of sort of was the
Sort
X-Men.
of kind of prototable, or like when they did that Generation X movie on Fox.
Look, old girl
Y'all don't understand.
as Emma Frost was probably the best thing ever. Easily, was it Finola? Yeah, Finola Hughes was Emma Frost, and I was like, that's Emma Frost, Brit accent and all. Cool.
Y'all do not understand.
We were living in hard times.
Whatever was on, y'all, we were locked the fuck in because we were just so happy to see an adaptation. And the extra points if it wasn't like self-referential or treating it like a fucking parody. You know what I mean?
Dude, like Nightman, it was wild to me that when you look back on it, it's like, so this was just an advertisement for the PT Cruiser. Gotcha. Like, because
and smooth jazz, sir.
Smooth Jazz,
Smooth
but
jazz
like
intro.
the character was a 180 from his character for the comics. But like, I didn't know better because like I didn't read the comic that Nightman comic. I heard of it, but like there was no wiki there for you to look up Nightman on what his power set is and shit. There was nothing there like that. So you just had Nightman, and it's like, so his powers is he basically stays up the whole time and has a I beam, and he drives a PT Cruiser. I mean, it's a dope PT Cruiser, I ain't gonna lie, but like that's the powers. Like, all right, cool. I guess, sure. And then we move into the Smallville era, which I gotta admit, Smallville lasting as long as it did, I didn't see coming.
I still don't understand how. Well, you know
I
what?
have a theory.
Tom Welling is a very attractive man. I'll say that.
I have a theory why it lasted so long.
How?
I think mainly because, hi everybody, I'm sorry I'm late, but I think the main reason why Smallville ducked the Hammer of Dawn was because people forgot it was on. And I mean that with the best intentions as possible.
Which season do you think is when?
Oh my God, it should have got cut off the last season, actually, to be honest with you.
No, because the first three, I knew people that was must see.
People
TV.
were into, at least from my standpoint, people were into it the first two seasons.
Okay.
The last season, to me, I knew people that watched the show that was like, that's still on? Like, it was like that. I felt like it really, because where comic books stood at that time. Especially when 10 seasons, nigga, yes. Those last four seasons, when they started adding in all the different people and all the rest of that, I knew it when I knew that show through my wife, because my wife used to watch Smallville. She didn't watch the last two seasons of Smallville because she legit thought it got knocked off the air. and she was glad that she stayed around because she got to see, the last scene of the show, but still, but I always felt, because Avengers wasn't out, because there wasn't this rush of, we got to see what's in these comic books. There wasn't that rush for it. I think it kind of ducked a lot of the criticism that it could have gotten.
Because I think season 8 through 10, that was, because I think that's what it was, when it was right when Iron Man came out, and I was just watching TV randomly, right? And all of a sudden I saw a commercial for Smallville. I'm like, time out, Smallville's still on the air? Like, that was my first reaction. And I was like, huh, all right, let me catch up on what the fuck Smallville's doing and stuff.
People legit forgot it was even there.
And the theme song. Again, the theme song.
The theme song. Oh, the theme song. Oh, come on, man. Come on, classic.
I mean, and the thing
certified hood classic.
And the thing about Smallville, in a way, Smallville walked so Arrowverse could run, because
literally
because
Arrow was supposed to be a spinoff for their Green Arrow.
Yeah, their Green Arrow. So basically, to bring it back to what you said with Wizard Magazine was the first to break the news that old boy playing Green Arrow, him and the girl playing Black Canary, it was supposed to spin off into their own show. Aquaman from that Justice League team up was supposed to get his own show. I think there is actually episodes of that show.
There is an episode. It has Ving Rhames in it, and it wasn't the guy who was Aquaman in Smallville. It was the guy who played Green Arrow in Smallville who was Aquaman.
Yeah, they switched him up because my man that was Aquaman in the show was Reacher, except not as big.
Oh, who you mean Hawk?
Hawk that can't get it up against
Ed Hawk. Okay,
you know?
okay.
Hey, he's reaching to me, man, because you look at him as Aquaman, look at him now. That's like The Rock when he popped up on Fast Five. We were like, whoa, hold on there, sir. When did you get this ginormous here? What happened here?
Cornbread.
Except he actually did it the right way. The Rock,
You know.
Rock been juiced.
You know.
But nah, Aquaman was supposed to get his own show. Green Arrow was supposed to get his own show. But like by the time those things were supposed to happen, WB was like, yeah, we're basically done with that shit. We're kind of moving on, and I think that's when they shifted over to CW, right?
Right. Well, it was already on CW, and Greg Berlanti and his crew, Andrew Kinsberg and
Birds of
Guggenheim?
Prey. Oh, also same time as Smallville, Birds of Prey had like a season, like the Flash, 90s
Right.
Flash.
That has the distinct honor of being the first live action appearance of one Harleen Quinzel.
And they showed was it Cassandra Cain in that show too? If I remember
Was
correctly.
Cassandra? I don't think it was Cassandra. It was Helena Oracle and Baby Black Canary.
Or was it
Lady Shiva was in it?
Yeah, Lady Shiva, because they showed the origin of how like Oracle ended up in the wheelchair and stuff, which was again show had some interesting things, but it was just like
the chick who played Oracle, she came to work. Like she was there to do a motherfucking job. She was on point. Everybody else, I don't know, man. Paycheck collecting. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, but like you said, Berlanti and them, they basically after Smallville was like, well, what are we gonna do now, right? And
so yeah, they just fresh off of Green Lantern, which was supposed to launch the DC movie universe. We here in the future know that didn't work out so well for them. But again, those three dudes, if I can't say anything positive about them, I will say that they do like comic books mostly, or they appear to have liked comic books, because they took that same energy and funneled it into their Arrow show. Now,
did you see the teaser sizzle? Because the sizzle reel for Arrow actually got dropped. I think it was like during it was the year of San Diego Comic-Con. The sizzle reel got shown there and somebody leaked it online. And I remember looking at it, I was like, it's a very Batman-esque show here. This isn't the liberal Green Lantern that we know.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we mentioned. Yeah, they basically made him Batman. Like it wanted to be a Batman show so bad.
Oh, your mic.
You mute me. You mute.
But yeah, it had a very Batman-esque quality to it. I remember the sizzle reel showing him when he threw the tennis balls and he shot it. I was like, okay, that's interesting. They're clearly not going through the motions with him shooting arrows, but sure, melodrama,
another soap opera. Yeah, soap opera, Torture Soul. I Am the Night Arrow. Sure, 180 from the comic books, but sure. Like comic book Ali most definitely is a Democrat.
Oh yeah,
Arrow Ali most definitely a Republican. Most 1000%.
He's the Rock Republican. Like
I mean, the Rock, exactly the Rock style.
He ain't gonna. He's a respectability politics Republican. Basically,
knows what I'm saying.
Pull yourself by the bootstraps. I became Green Arrow. Why can't you?
I did? I won the gene lottery. Why didn't you?
Yeah. So when Arrow came out, there was this kind of like just to jump ahead, like Arrow, basically the first 2 seasons, like it was like, yo, must see, like you need to watch this shit. Like
I arranged my entire schedule to make sure I could watch it.
We all tweeted. We all tweeted. We were all like, yo, this is dope. The reveals and everything. And obviously we know shows sometimes, even when they, especially for it going because it went 8 seasons. Him and the Flash, they went 8 seasons.
7. The Flash went 9.
Yeah. So yeah, Green Arrow was 8, Flash is 9. But
I thought Green Arrow was 7. Am I wrong? I could be wrong.
My phone busted.
Yeah, 8 seasons.
Oh, my bad.
8 seasons.
8 seasons, and Flash got 9.
Flash got 9. Okay.
Yeah, Flash got 9. But it was just kind of crazy too, because it felt like because the first 7 seasons kind of echoed Smallville in the episode count, because it was like 20 something episodes, and I think the last season only got like 10, 12 episodes, I believe.
Mhm.
But like the show, literally, we all were watching it. I mean, fuck, you can go all the way back to our early comic book corners. We were talking about this shit. And obviously, you get a show as good as Arrow, you know, the networks are going to sit there and be like, all right, what can we do from this? And I think it was the first season or was it the second season they had the Flash back to back.
That was the
Second
second
because
season.
he had two appearances, right?
Yeah, first season it
First,
was
yeah.
because of Dark Arrow, and then the second one was when they backdoored the Flash into it with his own pilot and stuff with him doing it, and then Flash had their own thing, and then third season they backdoored the Legends of Tomorrow show, which who knew that was going to be the show that was going to be the great fucking show?
Who knew?
Who knew?
The C-D tier characters gave out the better story and the more exciting story. I actually seen that coming, a part of it, because everybody was so pressed to really like, all right, what you just said there with the Flash and Arrow.
Yeah.
Remember that came during the same time people were like, well, why won't the Avengers show up on Luke Cage? It was that same thing where everybody had to.
Same time, I'm like,
I keep on telling you,
I don't want that. I don't want that.
I keep telling you, Chris, to this day, Kevin Feige is a genius and a madman because he made everybody have that same train of thinking. This is a franchise. We all got to be together and all they got to team up and yada, yada, yada. And every nerd just wanted that shit. So there was this kind of a, let's not say it was like an organic thing, like, hey, let's just bring those two together and see what we can come out of it. No, it was like a demand from DC fans, especially, was like, come on, man, put them together. Come on, make them kiss. That's the way.
Flash and Arrow was the first one because when they finally did that team up where they fought each other, I'm like, how are you going to have a super speedster and the guy with arrows fight and make it legit?
I question a lot of shit that DC puts together when it comes to let's let this guy fight this other guy, and somehow the man with no powers is going to win. I've always questioned why they do this.
This is why I don't have, like I said, again, when it comes to Zack Snyder, I don't have anger. It's just kind of like you just look at him like, Zack, why? Look, I know, Zack, you love Dark Knight Returns. You kind of missed the point of why Batman and Superman were fighting. You missed the point completely. So you basically like the visual of it. You like the visual of it.
Chris,
all right, cool.
Chris, I will never forgive Zack Snyder for making me see this and thinking that there might be a chance. Because
blame Frank Miller if you're gonna go that far.
Because no, I'm not even blaming Frank Miller because I remember me and Prime had this old conversation, and Prime was like, "Oh, nigga, let me make this very clear. It's a comic book, but they do nothing with that. It's like you give us all this, even like when I always say this, Zack Snyder knows how to point a camera, but don't know what to do with it.
Exactly.
Like the best part, the part that had me hyped, but the story sucked so bad I kind of didn't care, was when Wonder Woman showed up. Like, I know it was you, and they had that scene where all three of them stood up. I was like, that looks gorgeous.
I was just like,
that looks so gorgeous. I'm like, it's great.
I have watched
4
the
seconds
warehouse
later,
fight.
all gone.
I have watched the warehouse fight with Batman more times than I've watched most movies.
Prime. Here's the moment where Zack Snyder took all of us that hate each other and combined us as one. We all stood in that theater and was like, that's Batman.
I'm like, bro,
bitch, that's Batman. Like,
my wife, who hates Ben Affleck, did this, quote unquote, fuck. Because she loves Batman so much.
Because I like, you know what, Zach? That's your thriller moment. I gotta just pull it back.
It really is a thriller moment. It's like,
pull it back.
Here's the sick part.
Hey, look, Chris, that was the Chris Pratt moment. You know what I mean? Like that was the moment.
Here's the sick part. Take that away from you. Here's the sick part. I was on the fence with BVS when they showed that trailer that showed that part of that warehouse fight. D knows this. I was like, D, I'm in. That fucking trailer. God damn it, that trailer.
I remember Chris. I was like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is stupid. Do you bleed? You will. I'm like, fuck. Oh God, this movie's actually going to be good. 2 months later, D is swinging and missing, trying to give it excuses why it's a good movie. I will never forgive Zack Snyder for taking my height of my DC fandom and saying, let me wrap that in a blunt and smoke it because you don't need it no more. Like,
why do you this is me with the Arrowverse, sir? Until Prime had to calm me down and climb me back down. I was like, Prime, the Arrowverse, it's so great. And he looked at me like, no. You know what it was? It was fucking Flash in the Savitar fucking season. That's what Prime looked at me like, CJ, you're gonna have to let the Flash go. I was like, no,
bro.
it's coming. Like,
Second his daughter showed up, I was like,
Bro.
oh god.
Y'all don't understand the battles we fought. Like, CJ, open your eyes, my man.
Savitar, it's all a lie.
Second
all
I
false
saw
promises and hopes.
for me, the second, like, all right, real talk. I'm not going fake. When they took off Dark Flash's helmet and you saw Gustin underneath that, I can go with it. I can go with it. I can go with it. I can still vouch for this shit. Then the second his light-skinned daughter showed up, okay, I don't need you guys to fight. Oh God, I gave up. I gave up so hard.
Arrow.
And my thing about that too is like,
I'm sorry, Mom. Oh my God, I wasn't supposed to say that.
my thing about that shit too is like, why were they so obsessed with making Barry and Iris have children who are older than them? Those two, like every person they cast to be their children
was older than Grant
Gustin. Older than Grant Gustin. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Because the girl, I didn't know
this
because
it's a fetish.
Because the girl being his daughter, I legit thought she was younger than him. She does have a very young looking face, but then like when I saw the age, I was like, oh, time out. She's how old
black
again?
people age differently. We forget about this.
You know what? It was the Bianca Lawson.
I mean, I'm 50,
effect.
so what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it was the Bianca Lawson effect. Where I'm like, hold on, this woman is how old? What?
Hey, look, man.
Hey, Arrow. Now, here's the thing shitty about Arrow. Season 3 is where Arrow was like, and we're going to
we're trash can.
What was
Ra's al Ghul. It was Ra's al Ghul and a backdoor Legend of Tomorrow with them fucking Hawks, which, by the way, wow, they couldn't do shit with the Hawks.
They did nothing with them. They did shit with them.
Do you know that Hawk Girl was supposed to be one of the next big pillars? Oops.
Shout out, no, for that one. Shout out to Legends of Tomorrow writers going. So we done with this bitch, right? Oh, thank you, Jesus.
She wants out. Kill her off.
I look. I give it up to
here.
DC for trying their best to push these black girls that can't act. I look.
Hey, everybody.
That's not DC's fault. That's Warner Brothers' fault. But still,
hey, everybody needs work. All right,
everybody needs work, bro.
But I mean, can we go to class first at least? Can we talk? Maybe that's what the director is there for.
Look.
Get the orange slice out your mouth. Can we talk for a second?
I was under the school of thought. I was like, hey, if Steve Amell can change, maybe these other actors can change.
And that's crazy because I actually think Steve Amell is actually a pretty decent actor.
We saw the trajectory. Here's the fun. We saw because you know why? Because we saw the trajectory. We saw the improvement. That's the thing. We saw it live on every season of Arrow, even the bad seasons.
And shout out to Steven because he actually locked down and like, you know what? I can do this. I can do that. Maybe
right.
And to give him even more credit, he was one of the few people when DC didn't have a voice compared to Marvel at the time because Marvel, they would do this corny shit where one of the actors would be like looking at a comic book. Hey, take a picture. They were getting washed. So at a time when that was going on, Steve Amell was like, fuck that. DC Comics, this and that.
Suck my dick.
I will give it up. Steve actually stood up for that shit. He wanted team ups. He wanted the Arrowverse to be bigger and all the rest of that shit. Results vary, but I will give him that. One of them
being Warner Brothers, and this is where it starts. So Arrow had this great idea. They were going to take Ollie's sister and pair her up with a Suicide Squad. They teased Harley Quinn. It was going to be Bronze Tiger, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, and this was going to be kind of like a actual arc.
And what's her name? Cupid.
Yeah, Cupid.
Yeah,
Cupid. And it was supposed to be like this was going to be an arc in Arrow. Warner Brothers movie. Sorry, guys, you can't do that. We're doing a Suicide Squad movie, and it's going to confuse the audience.
Can I just say, since Justice League Unlimited, the Warner Brothers embargoes have been the bane of my fucking existence.
There's a reason why you couldn't get Batman villains in the Justice League.
There is a reason. There is a reason why the Justice League and the Batman cartoon was done the way that it was done is because of fucking embargoes.
Professor Pig and Batman. What was it? What was the name of that Batman show?
Beware the Batman.
Beware the Batman.
Yeah, Beware the Batman. There was a reason why Professor Pig was the main villain and not the usual Batman
And that
films
caught
'cause
me
of the
off
Batman
guard too. I
embargo.
never asked questions about that because nothing against it, but I wasn't a fan of Beware the Batman like that, so I never really asked questions. But you can tell, yeah.
They made, to be fair to that show, they made do with being kneecapped like that. They made do with it. So,
Mhm.
you know,
Look, I can't hate that show because they were setting up the outsiders. I'm not that mad at it. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I'm in the same boat. I was like, oh, we're getting outsiders. And
Like Katana Metamorpho, just bring in Black Lightning. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Like it's one of the weird things. My son is my child. Like it's what for me is really more of. I can't blame that on Warner Brothers, but I do. Is like I'm on a new tip of like, yeah, Justice League. God, what was the last Justice League
action?
Justice League Action.
Yeah.
I
will
love it.
never.
I'll never forgive them for canceling that show.
I don't know. It was Cartoon Network or Warner Brothers is like, yeah, we ain't pushing enough. It's either Cartoon Network, like nobody's watching this shit. How come none of you kids wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and watch this show?
I'm gonna blame Cartoon Network and Warner's because it's the reason why Young Justice
It's a combination.
went the way it went
Combination.
before it finally hit DC. Well, before it hit DC Universe Online, and then
I do
Max.
realize there is a give and take to this because during that time I'm tripping out about Justice League Action not being pushed out. It was a second golden era of their cartoons where you had Gumball, Steven Universe, Adventure Time, regular show, it was a
right. And
so
you
see what I'm saying? I kind of understand at the same time, but yeah.
Do you want to push the thing you have 50% ownership in, or the thing you have 100% ownership in? I
exactly.
I understand.
But
I can still hate your guts, but I understand.
And then they broke even by doing Teen Titans Go. Fuck y'all. I love Teen Titans Go. But
look.
Teen Titans Go, let me make it very clear. Terrible show. Loved it to death.
To this day.
Loved it to death.
To this day.
That show is fucking funny.
No.
I
would defend. Here's the thing. I was one of those. I was on the fence, but I didn't hate it. And it wasn't until we went to go see Teen Titans Go to the movies. I was in tears.
Nah, bro. You know what got me on board was the fucking Santa Claus song. When Santa Claus is the villain, and he's calling them trash children. I'm like, you know what? This is the greatest show on television. This is amazing.
For me, what really put the icing on the cake was Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go. And Robin said what I was thinking. So you guys just fight fairy tale people all the what do you guys do? And I forgot what Cyborg said, but Cyborg said it with a true face. We're heroes or something. I lost it. I'm like, this show is on crack, and I love every second of it.
So Warner Brothers' whole thing was, we got a Suicide Squad movie. You can't use the Suicide Squad anymore. And I'm like,
strike one for the embargo.
Oh yes.
But
spoiler alert.
But
there's more to come.
End up using him, and
they used them in the later seasons when Ollie went to jail.
After the Suicide Squad.
No, I'm talking about the one where John went there. When John went there, and that's when we heard Tara Strong from behind the
That was the same episode. That was setting it up.
That was setting it up.
That's
supposed to be the backdoor
setup and all that.
I got you.
Yeah. It was the same one and stuff. But like I said, they
even took promotional shots and everything with the fucking skinny Amanda Waller.
Oh yeah, which
by the way,
and their dead shot.
Which by the way, skinny Amanda Waller.
The dead shot really needed to do. Nigga, do a push up. I know what you mean.
Will Smith is right there. What are we doing here? Like
Will, no, come on now, man. Like y'all could have got anybody for this shit. The skinny Amanda Waller. Let me put it this way.
I blame New 52 for that one.
I blame New 52 for that, but then again, New 52 modeled her after, like, I don't know, like, you know, Wendy Raquel Robinson and shit. So at least they did that. New 52.
No, New 52 was like, what if we get the principal from Steve Harvey?
Yes. Here's my thing. Am I against skinny Amanda Waller? No. Do I want it? No, I don't.
Got CCH Pounder.
Where is the cholesterol in that neck? That's all I'm trying to say.
Viola Davis gave us Amanda Waller. I'm like, yo, like.
Do you know what the funniest part was about that shit was? Is right before the reboot, they fucking teased her getting fat with her ordering, what was it, a cheeseburger?
Yeah,
for lunch or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man.
But I will say this.
Look. You either gonna get me fat, Amanda Waller, or you're gonna give me dried up ovaries, Viola Davis, to be Amanda Waller. One of the two.
Hey, look.
Because Viola wasn't her in size. Second she started talking, oh nigga, y'all better do what she say. She gonna kill all y'all.
She gonna kill all y'all. I
She
don't
about
care
to
what you
kill
say.
the entire world.
CTH Pounder, it's like that voice. She'll kill you.
She would have like the thing about Amanda Waller is she will look Batman dead in the face and go, nigga, you ain't nothing. That's how she is. So when we see small Amanda Waller talking to Ollie, it's like, okay.
You know, this white guy over here is just going to use his white. He's going to use his white privilege and just look at you like, yeah, that's cool, but I'm Arrow. So I'm gonna do whatever I want. Like, what are we doing?
The Wall is a personality. It's not just her physique, and I don't get that from Chartreuse Amanda Waller right there. You know what I mean?
But now I'll say this. Oliver brought up, you're not going to be Spurs season 3. Here's my thing about season 3. You put Ra's al Ghul in there, which, okay, fine. I had D laughing because D was the one that predicted this. I asked him, I was like, hey, how do you think what's her face sister comes back? And he joked, he was like, put her in the Lazarus pit. And I laughed, right, when D said that. Didn't think much of it. Season 3 starts, and we see Ra's al Ghul, and I was like, D's right. Son of a bitch.
You can't say the word Al Ghul and not show up, not show that green pool. You cannot do that. You can't. You can't. As a rule, you just cannot do that. You can't mention certain characters, certain things, and not go there. It's one thing to mention Bloodhaven. Nobody wants to go to Bloodhaven. But then if you mention Ra's al Ghul and the fact that
in the League of Shadows.
In the League of Shadows and everything, it's like any second now, somebody gonna come out of that water. Somebody, I don't know who it's gonna be.
When they mentioned League of Shadows in season 2, which was the Deathstroke season, I was like, oh no, we're getting Ra's al Ghul, aren't we? I don't know when, but we're getting it, aren't we?
Which, to be fair, shouts out to Guggenheim and his crew, Berlanti and his crew.
Yeah.
A lot of they pushed it back on the embargoes a lot because originally, like, they weren't allowed to use Deathstroke, and they snuck that mask in. Yeah, they snuck that mask in as an Easter egg, and they kept going to Warner Brothers, going, hey, we put the mask in. People know, the fans know what the mask is. We got to use them. I mean, we got it. We showed the mask. We have
got it. We kind of
got it.
Look,
we got to explain it, right? Right.
Look,
right.
Manu, my man Manu as Deathstroke was.
You mean Smug Stroke?
Yeah, Smug Stroke. I actually loved him. I loved him.
I thought he was not going to be great, and by the end of maybe that season, I was like, this motherfucker was perfect. He was actually perfect.
So as he did that reveal coming from the shadows and had the eye patch, I was like,
had the eye patch, yeah.
The bar is low, by the way, because Smallville gave us basically,
General Tire from Battlestar. What? I'll be sitting somewhere, and I just randomly remember that sword fight, and I get really mad. You know what I mean?
Dude, it was the most random shit ever that you do have no choice, but you just sit. You might be sitting back playing some Mass Effect, and all of a sudden that scene pops in your head. You're like,
right.
How the fuck was I thinking about this?
I'd be sitting out in the park, watching the dogs play, looking at the blue sky, and all of a sudden I remember his old ass with that sword.
Thunderbolt Ross, Deathstroke style comes through.
Mad as hell.
He killed Hawkman. I'm like, that guy killed Hawkman? Like, all right, cool. That was weird flex, Smallville. Sure. Like, got you. Like, I thought Racial season 3 was definitely subdued.
And they weren't supposed to use race either, but they
weren't supposed to.
They're like, hey, we said League of Shadows. I mean, we had his daughter. I mean,
he is Ra's al Ghul, caucus version.
Ra's al Ghul.
I remember people feeling some way like, why is Ra's a white guy? And I was like, I understand.
I remember a couple people actually get mad at that, and I was like, well, I hate to be this person. Always usually a white guy, so I don't know.
I mean, yes, the cartoon, he was of brown descent. I will give you that.
Brownish. Like, come on, man. Like,
got a tan. Man. Got a little bit of a tan.
Like, look, Hungarian niggas get brown, so I don't know what you mean.
Hey, look, I would say this. The one thing that I would definitely you know what? Shaggy will agree with me on this, and we both were in agreement. It's strike 1, 2, and 3 for me. We got this whole Arrowverse run, and they didn't even put the question in.
They were trying, bro. They kept teasing it. They kept talking about Hub City.
The question would fit into this.
Yeah. I noticed, I remember there was rumors they was thinking about doing it, but I never remember nothing coming out of it. Like, I remember nothing coming out of that shit. I think it was around about the 4th, 5th season they started talking about that shit, and I don't remember nothing ever developing out of any of that. So, I don't know, man.
I mean, dude, they put the fucking what the hell's the name of that dude from DC that's like the master of disguise and shit.
Human Target.
Yeah, Human Target. I was shocked that
we
Arrow
talked about that again. Yeah,
they put Human Target in that shit like 3 times. I'm like, that is like the deepest of cuts. Like, who the Human Target, cool.
Human Target, yeah.
I did not see that coming.
God, what did they use Human Target in?
UPN did a TV show called Human Target that I think had no correlation to the comic book.
No, it had no. I don't think it was.
It was Fox. No, it was. I think it was
Fox. It was Fox.
Fox. Yeah, Fox.
Then there was another adaptation. Yeah,
but they put Human Target in Arrow. I was like, huh, that's interesting. That's definitely a choice.
I always feel like with better writers, you can get, you could do stuff, but like I don't think nobody was ever going to catch on to that. You know what I mean?
Dude, they put like fucking they put little shit like the boxing glove arrow in one episode. Look, I marked out for that one. I was like, boxing glove and arrow.
No. Chris, will you like? I tell this to everybody.
I love it. I subdued.
Chris has two type of things he mark out on. Something that's really cheesy and comic booky, the boxing glove, like that one, or a deep cut that only he's going to know about and no one else. Go back to Teen Titans Go movie when the
Challenger of the Unknown.
This nigga is screamed up, "Oh my god!" All these little kids look at him like he crazy. Like,
this is Challenger to know, man.
What the fuck y'all know about that? Chris, if it's in that era of Johnny Quest bullshit, that is Chris's jam every single time.
And because the joke in the movie fucking worked. It's like Challenger of the Unknown got seats and we didn't. Like, it's like it works.
They showed up later in the episode during the season. I forgot what it was about, but it was seeming like, no, don't do it. What? It's the unknown or something like that. I forgot what he did. It was something on that same level of like, this is just so stupid.
But no, it was just the show was doing like I think it then like after the prison stuff when Arrow had his own little mini group and stuff, it got a little weird because
you
got Wild Dog. The third Black Canary. Yes, folks, there was like 3-4 Black Canaries rolling through this fucking show.
3 of them. Why were they more than one Laurel? It would get me all this. It would always get me.
Well, the Laurel thing.
More than one.
The Laurel thing I enjoyed just on the ass, but it's just the way they haphazardly did it. It's like, okay, I get multiverse. You got Dark Siren. She's the new Black Canary now, and she's on this redemption arc. All right, cool, I guess. But like, why did you kill the other Laurel again? Like
shock value.
Yeah, shock value. Because her death made no fucking sense. In the
Zero.
Show.
Absolutely none.
Zero.
And they said the reason they killed her is because like they shot that cold opening with the cemetery with a character being dead.
Yeah.
And at the time, they didn't know what character would be dead. Excuse me?
That's some good old television right there.
That's television. That's peak.
That is some
old school television writing.
That is top dollar television right there. I'm sorry. How far y'all written? Episode 5 of this season. Okay, yeah. Wait, but you don't know what you're gonna do with it? We'll find out. Like,
in editing. Ooh.
In other words, we're gonna march through the first 8 episodes of this, and if nothing works out, we already know how we're gonna finish this shit.
Yeah, and this like
they got 3 contingency plans when it comes to shit like that. Yeah,
because you had Laurel's sister was Black Canary because she was using the fucking this device to do it. That was the
she was the Canary.
The Canary. My bad. The Canary. She got killed. Her sister takes over as let's just say Laura could not fight for shit. Let's just be honest. Which is why there was a season arc of Wildcat teaching her how to fight in the most like 1-2 punch, I guess, way. Which, all right, cool, I guess. You know
what? Like that's again. I feel like you get into a fight with a TV executive. They're like, yeah, teach her how to fight. Like, yeah, But have you ever seen Black Canary in any of this shit? She can.
Right.
I'm not saying that she can't beat Batman, but she gonna make Batman go, oh, almost got me, bitch. Like, come on, you gotta at least make
So it's like Ollie's team had this other chick that was Black Canary, but then turns out she was, who the fuck was she working for? Was she working for
this is where it got confusing because for me, the second they got rid of fucking I was gonna say not Damien Dark. What was his nickname? What was his name again?
Yeah, it was Damien Dark.
Damien Dark, right? Yeah. The second they got rid of him, they haven't. Actually, that was always my big problem. They never had a solid villain. When the end of his arc ended and he went off on Legends of Tomorrow, having a much better arc in those two shows. Like they really never had a solid villain for me.
I think the last villain was like, who the fuck was in the last 6 seasons?
God,
I think
who
it
was
was something.
the last
Was it
season?
Tony Dragon or some shit like that?
I thought he was 7. And was it Prometheus, Dragon?
Prometheus, Dragon.
God, why am I blanking?
The last
God,
the last
this is
season,
bad.
Oliver was like
was
was a specter.
Yeah, traveling for Crisis on Infinite Earths before the
Yeah.
crossover.
Yeah, and then it was supposed to be the backdoor to Green Arrow and the Canaries, which
and that never happened. And I want to say you all are welcome. I did that.
in the grand scheme of things, I would still rather watch that show than Naomi. The fact that Naomi was.
I would rather watch neither. Can I get a good TV show instead?
I'm mad that I watched two full episodes of Batwoman, so I need my time back.
I watched the whole season because
I watched the whole show.
I had to do that, but that's the other thing too. So the other stuff,
I still gotta watch Naomi. I just want to.
You don't want to.
I don't want to. I just want to know what was the idea.
So here's the thing. While this is happening here,
Black Girl Magic.
Yeah, I know, right?
Shut the fuck up. You would not besmirch. That's pretty much what it was. Black girl solving crimes.
Yeah, Superman. He comes through in the blur. But nah, what was happening?
We heard about Flash running through here.
So what happened during this time was
not white.
What you looking out the window? I just seen Green Lantern.
That's exactly what Naomi was. It was like
they did not do that. Don't do
No.
that. They did not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this shit. They did not.
It was literally the first episode. You see Superman, it's just a blur. And that's Naomi's inspiration of, yeah, it's weird.
Chris, connection.
So
It's all connected.
the TV superhero wars was happening during this time because NBC got Constantine on there.
Did not want
Which-
Constantine.
And
Which,
didn't-
by the way,
it's weird. They wanted
me and the-
superhero shows, but didn't want superhero shows.
me and the wife sat through Constantine. Fuck you, NBC. That wasn't a bad show.
Thank
It
you.
wasn't that bad.
Meanwhile,
now,
you let
was it
Grim-
going to survive like more than 3 seasons? Questionable. But come on,
You
man.
let Grim go for like 5 seasons? What's going on?
Grim
here?
That's what I'm saying. What the
Sat
fuck?
in
I don't hate Grim. I don't hate
You
Grim.
let you let heroes fester for 4 seasons. How fucking dare you?
Nah. D will take it more than that. We mentioned the Human Target. Nigga, y'all let the Pretender go for at least good 7 seasons, bruh.
How long was the black?
Nobody sat down on a Friday night saying the Pretender's on. All right. Nobody ever did that.
How many seasons was the Blacklist when that shit was past its sell by date?
Right?
And this is
And
coming
I
from
love the
fans.
Blacklist.
This is
I
coming
love
from
the
fan
Blacklist.
of that show.
The first
Season 5, when she figured out how and when her parents
That
died,
should have been it.
y'all decided 5 more seasons. Come on, bro.
What are we
Gotta
doing here?
We
What
got
are we doing?
We gotta keep the propaganda going, CD. You see? You
It
know,
wasn't propaganda at that point. It was what I call spader porn. I'm not all against it, but at the same time, it's like,
why?
what are we doing here? He needs something to yell
He
at.
needs some scenes to chew on.
He has like yes. Hey, Spader, there's an apple there. You know, I ate an apple in 19. Yes, he could go on forever with that shit. But come on, man.
So they had Constantine. Fox had goddamn Lucifer.
Gotham.
And Lucifer. To varying degrees of
They didn't have
quality.
Lucifer, but they did have Lucifer.
They had
They
Lucifer until Netflix got the last 2 seasons. Which Lucifer, I would say, got kneecap going to Netflix because they cut down on the episodes.
And the budget.
And
And
the
to
budget.
be fair, I watched all of Lucifer.
Yeah.
I like Lucifer.
Oh,
Is
I
it a
love
good show? No. Why did I watch the show? Because the cast has this legitimately like really
Connection
great
was
charisma.
great.
Right.
Yeah,
like
that's the only
plots,
reason why my wife watched it.
the plots, the stories they told, dog shit. But watching those people interact with each other, I can
makes it
sit down
work.
and watch
It
it
That's the
all
only thing,
fucking
and that's
day.
what I hear from everybody. They didn't care for the story; they just like the relationships and how everybody bounced off each other. Man,
They had such amazing chemistry. I'm like, more of them just talking together. The show could just be them at a coffee table, just eating cereal and talking, and I would watch the fuck out of that.
It
Oh,
always makes me laugh that they will actually have comics where it'd be like 2 issues of just the characters just yakking at each other. Like you could do that.
oh, by the way,
The one time I would not mind that shit.
You know,
Fox also had The Gifted because again, guy getting into the superhero business. The
the
Gifted,
Gifted.
The Gifted. Yeah, it was
The-
basically
That was the X-Men
the
joke,
B,
wasn't it?
the
X-Men,
C,
not X-Men.
the D team of X-Men teams butting heads. It's the not Brotherhood of Mutants versus the not X-Men, and they were beefing.
I always like me that how I don't like the new Avengers. You could have did that, nigga. You could have just made new Avengers, nigga.
They look. They made Polaris to be like her daddy in terms of hey, mutants. We need to be this, and I'm like, we're flex, okay.
You know what?
Sure.
Look, man. Look, man. Like the third child can also be the best.
Yeah, this
If you need it.
that like I didn't hate the show, but it's like it getting 2 seasons. That's one more season
That
that
is
Fox
kinda-
gave it. To
That
be
is
honest,
that is a little bit too much. That is a little bit too much.
Legion got
CBS
3, didn't it?
No, it got 2. It was supposed to get 3, and then Fox was just like, "Nah, we're going to concentrate on the movies."
No,
and-
Legion.
Yeah, Legion got 3, which Legion was the better show actually.
Legion, I
Legion
remember.
was great.
Yeah, Legion was one of the shows, in my opinion, that flew under the radar. Like I only seen a couple episodes of it, but everybody talked about it. Like,
Go
nigga,
watch that
like,
shit.
watch
nigga.
it. Watch it. I need to go
Also-
back and watch it too.
Also, just gonna tell you guys tell you folks right now, don't watch Son of Satan. It's not a good show.
Oh, you mean what they call
It's
this
great-
shit? Hellstrom?
I called it Maelstrom. I call it great value Constantine because that's exactly
That's not
what the
even
fuck
great
it is.
value, nigga. That shit is best brand fucking
Best brand, Kirkland brand.
It is Kirkland brand Constantine. Oh,
dog shit.
yo. Yeah.
That show was so
But
bad.
anyways, CBS not to be pushed out of the way. It was like, hey, we can do superheroes too. Hey, Supergirl, come over here. And they immediately was like,
Yeah, hey, Supergirl, go back over there.
yeah, no, you know what it was? It was
It
like-
was set up. Now go back there.
No,
Go
no,
back
you know
there.
what it
Make us
was?
money.
They was like, how much does it cost to do the show again? Oh no, we don't want this anymore. It's like,
Where's
you wanted
Clark
this.
Kent? No,
You wanted
this
this.
is what got it. Where's Clark Kent? Actually, Kirk Clinton is not in this show as much as you think it is. Motherfucker.
We're done. Like, and
And Krypton, the Krypton
Krypton was on
came along.
sci-fi.
Yeah, that was on
Sci-fi.
sci-fi though. But yeah, but I remember
Great show.
Krypton.
Great show. Great
Look,
show.
look,
Great show.
look. I like that show a lot.
I'm mad they canceled that.
Ooh,
I'm mad they canceled that.
Krypton could have been something big. It could have been something big.
Dude, they
man.
set up so much stuff. When they look, I should be pissed. I
am
pissed. I should be pissed that Doomsday was in that show. But the way they did it, I was like,
I think
This could
what
work.
killed it
This
was
could
one
work.
of those things where I felt that NBC messed that up. Well, NBC Universal messed
yeah,
that up.
Universal. messed
They
up.
should have put that junk on USA.
Yes.
If they put it on USA, it would have lasted a lot
5
longer.
seasons tops.
It would have lasted longer. You put the app now. You say, well, granted, they put the advertisement during WWE anyway, but no, if you knew after Monday Night Raw they were going to show one of the episodes of Krypton, I felt like they messed that up.
Right there.
They messed that up.
But like
They messed that up.
CBS
Look, they messed that up and gave it to somebody else who would end up being chained to DC for the rest of his career, and that's Matt Balmer.
Yep.
Because Matt Balmer, he was doing not Suits. It was a Suits. No, that wasn't Suits. It was the other show. But yeah, but that's kind of funny.
So they get Supergirl. They do the crossover with Flash. It got everybody talking like, so is Supergirl going to be in the other stuff? And it actually,
I was one of the goobers that liked it. I was one of those.
I liked it
goobers.
too. I didn't hate it. I liked it. I think it was
mean-
really the jolt in the ratings that show needed because it was just lingering there, like, oh, it exists.
especially for Supergirl,
Especially for
She
CBS,
that show
which-
needed it.
CBS, to be fair, has a audience, and the superhero genre isn't conducive to that audience from CBS.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, they have the money to do it, but it's like, who's checking Supergirl on CBS? That's
and
not must-see
and that's
TV.
actually the same thing that took out Constantine to me. You put it on NBC. Why? You have 4 other channels on cable you could put that on. You put it on NBC
with SVU and all this other stuff. It's like
it got dry. Didn't it only come on like on Sunday night or something like that?
It came out on Friday nights right after Grimm. It was Grimm. No, Constantine then Grimm. My bad. It was Constantine then Grimm.
Nobody.
People barely watch Grimm. So you're asking them to watch Constantine at 8 o'clock on a Friday?
If this was Friday back in the day when 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock Dateline comes on, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lead up to your main show, which is Dateline or something. They don't do that no more on NBC. Like, who the fuck would? And during that time, who was going to watch the NBC on a Friday night?
And also the difference is too, Fox, to their credit, and probably why Lucifer lasted as long, Fox always adjusted their metrics of ratings. So Lucifer came out on Fridays, but you never heard Fox say until like the last season that they canceled it because of ratings. Up to that point, they were like, "Hey, the ratings are pretty cool at Lucifer. We're fine with it. It's Friday. People watch it. It's cool."
I really feel that Gotham is the only reason why shows lasted on. Like I feel
Gotham is a Zack Snyder fever dream.
I feel like Gotham is what you'll get when you have people that have the right intentions, but I feel like the more higher up you get on that totem pole, the more stupider everybody got.
The first season teed up like, okay, because Gotham got me because I like the behind the scene grounded enemies, because it looked like they were just going to follow the crime mob scene. And we weren't going to get no Mr. Freeze shit. At most, you get Penguin, right? Like, because Penguin is on that level, right?
And they actually did it. Of all the crap that happened in Gotham, Penguin was the only storyline that was actually pretty damn good.
Riddler to a degree, too, because I
seen part of Riddler's, yes.
Riddler to a degree. But then, like, the second season is when they went off rails and was like, fuck it. Throw all the rogue villains in it. Doesn't matter why. Just do it. And I'm like,
why the fuck is Azrael running around?
In the suit,
you tell me
that? In broad daylight.
In broad daylight. The sun is out and this nigga's over here jumping buildings. Like, with
a giant sword. I'm like, whoa.
What are we doing? Wild. Let me make it real clear. Gotham's wild. But come on, bro.
We got 2 different versions of Joker. One of them is Jerome, because sure.
The other Joker they got,
You mean Joker, not Joker? Because we can't call him Joker.
We can't call him Joker. Yeah, I forgot about that.
There's a Black Joker and Batwoman, so there's 3.
Then, but where it got me was, I'm mad as hell to this day. I decided one day to watch Gotham, and I'm looking at this, and next time I was like, I'm sorry, is that Pee Wee Herman? Like, Cobblepot, that's my. I'm like, no, wait a minute, Pee Wee Herman is Cobblepot's dad. Hold up, no, I gotta watch this show. You can't give me Paul Rubens, childhood, and make him show up in this show in that capacity.
They put Mr. Freeze in the show, and I was like, why?
I will never forget you. I will never forget Chris.
We had Solomon fucking Grundy in this show.
It made no sense.
Nathan made sense with it. And you know the best part? I will never forget this, thanks to Chris, because they showed I would never forget this. It was fucking Poison Ivy. And somebody put in a picture, and Chris said, "The fuck is this? Gotham babies," and ruined the show for me. Absolutely ruined the show for me.
They did it. They look. And here's the sick part. The only bright spot.
Time skipped this little nigga, and they did too. And I was so mad.
The bright spot was, I did like the guy that played Jim Gordon. He was getting through it the best he could.
And the kid that was playing, I forgot homeboy.
The old girl playing Catwoman looked just like Michelle Pfeiffer, which is probably why people stuck with the show, because it was like, she looked like Michelle Pfeiffer. We gotta stick it out with this.
And then homie that played Knock Joker at the end, what's the name? I keep on forgetting his real name. He was nice.
He was in American Horror Story, I think.
No, he was actually in Shameless.
He's a Jedi.
He's a Jedi now. But yeah. But back in but when he came on that show, I was like, okay. Okay, if the show wasn't madness, this would actually hit probably harder.
So Supergirl, it gets to CW, and I think me and Prime joked at the time. Actually, Prime was the one that started. He was like, "Hey CJ, you know they're going to lower the budget for this, right?" I was like, "I know, man. I know. I know. I understand. I'm keeping my expectations low."
And who was the first casualty? Ally McBeal. She said, "I'm out, bitch."
She said, "Peace."
Carissa Flockhart was like, "Nah, I cost too much," and I'm like, "You do?" But
Also,
she rolled out.
Also, much like the Flash,
it ain't 99 no more, heifer. But hey, look, hey, stand up for your rights.
Also, like the Flash with Gorilla City, where you know where the budget went for the episode and season.
Shout out to Flash, knowing they had
a limit.
Limits.
We can only get 5 CG monkeys on the screen at a time here. That's what the budget allows. All right.
Oh man, they got it. It was like, well, who is it? Is it Gorilla Grodd? What's the other McGraw? I keep forgetting that gorilla's name every time.
Gorilla Grodd and the inspector of Gorilla
Savitar?
City. No. It was when they did the Gorilla City episodes. It was always Gorilla Grodd and like the general, the other one that always looks for him.
Savitar.
Oh, it wasn't.
Savitar.
I'm thinking.
Was it?
Yeah,
it was Savitar.
Yeah, I'm thinking Savitar, like the Flash.
No, not Savitar. That's the speedster. Damn, what is the white gorilla's name?
Yeah, but they had the budget for that, and in Supergirl, besides Ally McBeal, John Jones. God bless them. They tried their best to make that shit work before they finally gave up and was like, you know what, John's gonna be a black guy unless we need him to transform.
And you know what? I gotta say,
I'm fine with it, but at the same time, that shows you.
I gotta say, Solovar. Goddamn, I'd look it up. Solovar is the leader of the Gorilla City. I gotta say, top 10 greatest swerves in all the fucking fit.
Oh, that last episode of season 1,
they knew because like, oh, it's Hank, Hank. Come on, because we're thinking Hank Henshaw.
Yeah,
we're thinking, oh, it's gonna be Cyborg Superman. It's gonna be Cyborg Superman. They did the little glowing red eye tees. We're like,
I thought it was Cyborg Superman. I was like, oh shit,
that's what we're doing. And when he fucking transformed, I damn near flipped my goddamn coffee table.
I was like,
doing a little
God.
Homer Simpson on the fucking ground. I was marked the fuck out, bro.
I was like, that's better than Cyborg Superman. It's like, fuck it, I take this. Goddamn.
That's how you do a subvert fan expectations, motherfucker. You give us something better.
Dog, because of that, but it reminded me when I will never forget this. We was finally watching the Snyder Cut. Me and my wife smoking the J, looking at it. Next thing you know, we see what's the name. We like Martian Manhunter, and then you turn back and your boy Henry. We was like, yo! We was all like, yo! This is the funniest thing ever. 2 minutes later. So when Superman was out there the last time and he wasn't helping,
yeah, it's just one of those like. Because like Supergirl, at least
you would wander around the general of the army.
like Supergirl, they did a good job of showing why he didn't, because it tied into her parents, the death, and all that. And it's like, okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
And then my man from Lois and Clark fucked it up, being going full conservative and Trumpster. And he got written off the show because of that shit.
Dean Cain.
Dean Cain was on one. Like Prime knows. Remember, he was wilding out on Twitter, and then they wrote his ass off the show.
Wow. They're like, oh, word up. Word. He died off screen.
He died off screen. Damn shame what happened to Dean Cain.
You know what? Dean Cain did it to himself. And it's so funny. It's so funny to me because a lot of women have not forgot. A lot of black girls were in love with him. And they was like, this is amazing that Superman.
He didn't hit Kevin Sorbo level where he's far gone, but he was like,
bro. Oh, he's getting there.
Oh, he's getting there.
He's hit for tat now, bro.
At least Dean Cain is still getting booked at conventions. Kevin Sorbo.
I don't know. You know what? I hate to be that person. I know everybody has a fan base, but how? Is anybody really screaming for Dean Cain like that? I'm like, look, I'm not even, again, I'm not hitting, look, this is not even, I'm taking politics out. Everybody got a fan base. But is anybody really screaming like, we need Dean Cain up at this motherfucker? They will call for Kevin Sorbo before him.
Dean Cain ain't showing up at San Diego, but he will show up at like the Missouri Comic-Con or some shit like that,
He gonna be at the Jackson, Mississippi
that's
sci-fi convention.
It's like
Only
Kobe
on
Superman.
Saturday because he still think he a superstar like that. Only on Saturday and only for 3 hours.
No interview. No interview.
No interview, no none of that. Just signing papers, doing this. Yeah. How you doing? That for 3 hours, then he gets the fuck
No,
out.
but Supergirl, the trajectory of that show always felt like it was up and down, and then those last 2 seasons, it just nosedive.
Because it stopped being a superhero show and started being a
Teen drama.
white girl angst show.
Yeah.
I was about to say that. Yeah, it wasn't a teenage show. It's more of
an affluent white woman in the
this
city.
is what you're fighting. This is what
And
you're fighting now.
they put in the what was the name of the God, I keep forgetting. I'm literally Legion of Superhero. They put fucking Brainiac 5 in like the last 3 seasons of the show, I believe.
Right. And I'm a salty little beaver. Supergirl and Brainiac 5 are the OTP.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that this show actively went out of his way to make sure they did not get together.
It was like, look, just like they
fucking furious.
Just like they actively went out their way to be like, Jimmy Olsen and her, nah, we're gonna tease it, but we're not gonna do it.
After she ruined his life, as white women do.
Well, he became not Captain America.
So like, what is
it's worse than me, and I love it. Because I wanted to say some shit like that. You just did. Thank you.
He became hey, look, Jimmy became not Captain America, and then the show forgot about him. So
he became Great Value Steel, and then he.
What did he? No, I was say, did he become Guardian? And then just dropped
again.
Left.
He was Guardian, and that's why I say Great Value Cap, because like I think the Crisis crossover, he had like the red, white, and blue shield.
Yeah.
Earth X. And
by the way, that made no sense to me. Did like as a person that didn't watch Supergirl, that kind of confused the hell out of me.
Well, because they needed.
It's my thing is like you had the chance to have the costume be comic accurate, and you chose not to do that.
All right, we got the comic book. We got it comic accurate. Now, how can we fuck this comic book character?
Make it all black.
Like, let's make it gray.
These are not fighting words, but they did this. This is not fighting words, but they did the same thing. Taskmaster. All right, we made her a check. Now, how can we fuck this up?
Yeah. I have caught please because I was like, I like the idea visually of Taskmaster.
I'm always look.
I don't like
because I'm a pervert. I'm
always
always for a gender bend every now and then.
But it wasn't even good kind of gender bend. You took the hottest chick from the Jane. Was it Quantum of Solace or whatever and shit, and you muted her and somehow. You pulled what? Look, me and the guys talk about this offline. You uglified her underneath it. Like,
you see. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. They put a full ankle, and the worst
you made her Russian ugly in the worst way you could possibly do, and it's like,
and you're right for that, Chris. But the worst part about it is this: I ain't going to go out my way and act like this nigga's the best person in the world. But you took down Taskmaster with her, and it's just like, why? What did he do? He didn't have to go there. Like
you try to give Widow a Winter Soldier, and you didn't need to do that. Like you could have just made
no point of
my
that.
whole thing about that shit. Did you see?
No point of that.
And do you see the reason they made that?
Oh, you muted Prime. Still muted.
They don't. All right. You did that shit because you're like, oh, we wanted to have a personal connection to Taskmaster. We wanted to have a more personal story. You mean to tell me you couldn't write a story where a fucking mercenary goes after a spy?
Prime. People don't remember this, and we're going all over the place. You know the black guy that was helping Black Widow.
He was supposed to be Taskmaster.
He's supposed to be Taskmaster, and if the reveal was he was Taskmaster the whole time, it actually would make sense because of course he would know where he's at because he's been asking him for weapons. But they switched it up because unfortunately
subvert expectations.
Well, it was that, and also unfortunately Marvel at that time, remember they had a lot of leaks in terms of people leaking out plot information and shit. So they switched up and was like, yeah, that guy that you thought was Taskmaster, no, he's not Taskmaster. He's actually just a friend of Natasha's. And it's like, wait a minute, what? And
3D chest. I love it.
Like to me,
4D chest.
To me, it's like if somebody leaked your shit, fuck it, just roll with it. It's like, all right, cool. You know who it is. Just watch the movie. You're gonna be there day one. So
we're just gonna have to kill Black Widow at the end of this thing. Cause y'all niggas want to read shit and want to be surprised.
No, but that's what happened with Supergirl was the victim of like you had this up and down writing. You brought Linda Carter in as the president. I thought that was great. wink and nod, cool. But then like the last two, it was just like, what the fuck happened? Like the writing just made no goddamn sense. None. And like you said, Brian, with Brainiac 5, it was that whole thing of like, so are they together or not? Because y'all really doing a lot of back and forth with these two. And
it wasn't even that. Like, it didn't seem like she didn't have any interest in him, and he didn't. After a while, he got over his crush and didn't have any interest in her. And again, as someone who has actually read the characters,
and I'm not saying they need to be deeply in love, but
you can tease it. You can
tease something.
That's my problem. Brainiac and Supergirl had one of those connections and love that like they understood each other so well. This, all the rest of that, yada yada, woo 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 woo. I don't care if you robot or your daddy's thing. I'm with you, and I don't care that you can't die because I can be with you for the rest of my like. They really truly loved each other, and you mean to tell me that these motherfuckers they did everything out of their power. In their power to make sure they didn't get with each other. That's just so weird to me.
Even to the point to where
that is so weird to me.
It's like a Romeo and Juliet play where Romeo and Juliet don't get together. It's so
imagine if you
weird.
will. Imagine if you will. We sitting at season 6 of Spider-Man and fucking Mary Jane is still spitting in Peter's food. Like honestly, like
you mean current Marvel comics?
I heard, I know nothing. I cannot defend. I know nothing of it. And like, are you serious? They're doing that right now with him? That Mary Jane is not the one? Crap, we're doing that? Okay, cool.
Hey guys, did you love it? Did you
well, there is Ultimate Spider-Man that's doing it, at least, which is great.
Yeah, 40-year-old Peter with 2 kids.
Ain't that the one when they killed off Miss Marvel? And he was like, damn, that sucked. Damn, that sucks.
Ultimate
that's
Spider-Man.
Current.
Yeah,
that's current Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, okay. Ultimate Spider-Man.
Ultimate
Spider-Man. Hitman is bringing back the Ultimate University, and one of them was basically, long and short of it is basically, evil Reed Richards from the Ultimates from back in the day.
You just mean Reed Richards?
Yeah, Reed Richards.
I'm about to say you didn't. I was just about to say you didn't have that. I already know.
Reed Richards with the scar on his face, basically. Reed Richards with the scar. Edgelord Reed Richards.
Edgelord.
The maker.
Yeah, he's the maker. And basically, he wants to create his own Ultimate Universe, but without the hero. So he takes away the spider that bit Peter Parker. He actually tries to get Miles to come back to his universe as the Spider-Man instead of Peter. It's the most like, again, passive aggressive racist shit the maker says to him, like, come on, Miles, Peter's not in a relationship anymore. You could be Spider-Man. So you're basically trying to tease him with the white man is not Spider-Man. So is that what we're doing here? Like,
I don't think you can make an ism out of that, Chris.
Can you?
I think any black person that hear that the white guy version of him is not there, they're gonna go whippy. So I know.
But see, when you have an evil guy telling you that, it feels like there's a catch to it.
Okay, I get you there.
That's what Miles looked at him like. Nah, bro, I don't.
Come on, Miles. They got all the fried chicken you can eat.
That's exactly how it looked too. He was like, "Come on."
And all the white women with no panties on. Come on.
I know you like watermelon, and I know you like B-rated. I know you like B-rated superhero girls that like you for some reason.
So basically he tries to reform it.
Women and white women.
Iron Lad.
All for you, Miles. I hate. Look, by the way, I don't get mad. I don't get mad at for doing any swirl relationship in comics, but I do kind of hate like it's a white girl again with Miles, isn't it? That's all I say.
Even before Secret Wars and Miles was in the Ultimates, he hooked up. He was with
what's the name?
He hooked up with Dagger.
Yeah.
No,
not Dagger. It was
one of the other teammates on his the new Ultimates team.
I know it was Bombshell. She was down bad, bro. She was like, I need
a superhero team.
Stage 9. She was stage 9 digmatized.
Dude, you remember the front cover with all of them in civvies and shit? And you see his arm wrapped around Bombshell, and she's just there like the girlfriend that loves her man so much.
But it's been a while since I read it. If I remember correctly, Miles is always like, we are friends. We are.
It was, you know what?
You're
Bombshell was the equivalent of, you remember when Meg was a party and she had her arms wrapped around? That was Bombshell. That was Bombshell, bro. She was down bad. It was down
bad, man. I felt so sad for her. I was like, man.
So basically, Tony's dad was Iron Man, and he worked alongside King to take down the Maker. And basically, Tony, Thor, and Captain America, who was on ice, by the way, the Maker was purposely was like, "Yeah, we're not reviving Cap. Keep his ass on ice." So basically, he revives Cap, and essentially, him and the rest of the guy, well, basically Tony, since he's he basically is forming the Avengers to basically get back all the people's powers, including Spider-Man, who is now a 40-year-old guy with 2 kids and married. And it's actually pretty interesting. That's something that people wanted in the main line for the longest time.
Shout out to all the millennials that forced Marvel to do that shit. Come on, you got to be a family man like me now.
The book is so good. Like the last issue that came out was just a dinner date between spoilers for Ultimate Spider-Man. Okay. It was a dinner date between Mary, Peter, Harry, and Gwen Stacy. And it was just them sitting at a table talking, but it was rife with so much drama and characterization. This shit was so fucking good.
Because we don't know what happened to them because we're just plopped into that ultimate world after that shit. So it's just like, oh, there's some history here. Like they really are like, okay. So, it's so basically going back to it though, with Supergirl, it was just like, all right, we're here. Because even with, was it Lena Luthor? They were trying to do something with her and it didn't do anything. And that's why they brought in old boy as Lex Luthor. And I'm like, this Lex Luthor is actually pretty good. I actually like him.
Can I say he had the scenery between 2 buns and some mustard, and he was going to town on it.
Oh yeah, John Cryer's Lex Luthor was
John Cryer. I think what happened with John Cryer was one of those things where it's like, I was Lenny Luthor. This is made for me.
Hey, look, man. Here's the thing.
Like, let me get my run back.
There was a lot of
they called John Cryer. He's like, you ain't said nothing but a word. I'm showing up ball. Click.
Hey, look, man. Because when they announced him, right? I ain't gonna lie. I was like, Ducky from fucking 16.
I remember you saying that, like, Chris, he's a grown
I know,
man.
I know he did 3.5 Men.
He did 2.5 Men for nearly 15 years.
I know, but it's just that's what I see him as. It just felt like he was Ducky, but he teamed up with fucking Charlie Sheen. That's what it felt like, right? So it was like, all right, he's Lex Luthor. All right, let's see what happens. Oh my god, this is great.
I think I hate to say this. I think if it was on a stronger show, John Cryer would be getting work left and right.
Oh yeah,
because I think to me that was his little fu. I can act. I am good if you put me in this. I am. That's what it looked like to me, man. He was.
It's a shame. Yeah, it's a shame that the material sucked ass, but he was great.
Hey,
exactly.
You work with the material that you're giving because I felt like once they introduced my man as Superman in the 2nd season. That's when the part of me in the back of my mind was like, so is all the good shit that you were going to do for Supergirl going to get put in Superman and Lois? And it did get put in Superman and Lois because
except their Lex Luthor. Now that Lex Luthor got Superman and Lois,
watch out. Like it's which
that's fucking Lex
like
from the hood,
all the swag that Supergirl was supposed to get. It was like, nah, we're gonna put it on Superman and Lois, and y'all gonna enjoy that. So sorry, and I knew immediately as soon as they introduced Superman and they showed him and John Jones teaming up, fighting. What was it? It wasn't Metallo, was it? Was it Metallo? Yeah, I think it was Metallo.
It was Metallo.
Yeah, it was Metallo. Yeah, it was Metallo. Which again, I'm shocked that show did that. I was like, all right, cool. And as soon as he came back, I think was it the Crisis on Infinite Earth with him and his wife. They having a kid and shit.
I think that was Elseworlds. He came back.
Elseworlds. He came back.
Which one? Oh God!
Because you had
which one was the one where they had all the Supermans show up? That
Elseworlds.
One that was that the Elseworlds?
No. It was Crisis. Was it Crisis?
Crisis?
Yeah, Crisis had all the Superman. Brandon Routh.
Brandon Routh was God Kingdom Come Superman, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Was that Kingdom Come? I don't think that was Kingdom Come.
I think it was Kingdom
all I remember was the great streak. I was like,
yeah, it was Kingdom Come Superman. Now that was all of us was like, oh my god, Brandon Routh could be Superman if you gave him some good material to work with.
Because Brandon Routh was so good as Ray Palmer, I loved how everybody went back. You know what? We were rough on him in that Superman movie. We were actually kind of mean.
Hey, people forget Brandon Routh was slumming it before Arrow because like he did Superman Returns, he did Dylan Dog, which was supposed to be it's based off a comic book movie that was supposed to be something. Nothing came of it, and it felt like he was floundering. And it was like, hey, we want you as Ray Palmer, and I was like, the Atom? Okay.
Came
shit.
on at 8. Went on. Didn't
Took
took
me a
that
minute for the
character.
suit. Took me a minute to kind of really get with the suit, but
Did
Well, the
took
suit was
that
supposed to be
man.
Blue Beetle.
Yeah, I know.
you're right. You're right.
One of the things I loved about Legends was everybody saying, any second now, Booster Gold gonna show the fuck up any second now.
He
Like,
showed up the last season, last
I
two
don't even
episodes of this
remember
season.
him.
Donald Faison was Booster Gold. It was supposed to set up this arc, and then that's when CW was like, "We're done with the Arrowverse. Flash is it." And I'm like, "You cheat."
But we still got the dinosaur girl that's out here that we haven't finished her arc yet. Yeah, I know. I know, but
if you would have told me, besides Ray Palmer, that we will be eating on Captain Cold and that characterization,
who was that? That was
Wentworth Miller.
Wentworth said, "I'm going to be my gayest and like he
and
woke
obnoxious."
up. He woke up. We woke up with violence and found a way to make that character go. Even Heat Waves.
Oh, Heat Wave! I love the arc. I love him.
One-dimensional ass became Batista in 2 seasons. All of a sudden, he like this nigga actually can act.
I mean, here's the thing: both actors, we knew they could act. I mean, even beyond Prison Break, we knew they could act. But it was like Legends.
I hated how they made him a lunkhead, and then you realize, oh yeah, this nigga can.
Dude, whenever they did episodes where he has the glasses on reading a book, I was like, this is supposed to be a joke, but he actually is reading the book. This isn't like
I'm actually reading about this. Again, you know what, Chris? It goes back to the joke that we always said on Robot Chicken said, how are all you high school dropouts getting all of these weapons? I love it. That was Mr. Freeze looking at Captain Cold and looking at Icicle. It's like, I don't understand how all you high school dropouts are getting this shit. It took me 10 years to make this shit.
Robot Chicken really hyper realizes how many characters kind of intersplice with their power set, because it's like, oh, we got Mr. Freeze and Captain Cold over here, and we got a couple other people that got Freeze weapons.
Icicle.
It's like Icicle Jr., Icicle. It's like, hold up, time out. We got
Icicle Jr. forever is a bitch to me. Blame Young Justice for hurting all of his stock with D. Like, I liked how at first I knew who Icicle was and it dropped this way. And I first knew about Lagoon Boy and it started right here and now it's all the way up here.
Well, to be fair, Icicle Jr., was he in Stargirl?
I don't remember him in Stargirl.
Yeah,
was he in the Stargirl show?
Yes, he was in Stargirl, which for a solid 3 seasons, that was a great show.
It was a fantastic show.
I only seen a couple episodes of it. I did not appreciate it when it was out. I'll be real. I did not appreciate it. And this is coming from somebody that likes Stargirl in the comics. And that's kind of like fucked up for me not to even try to watch the show.
But nah, like the whole, so you had
I forgot that show existed. Oh my God.
Then out of nowhere, CW was like, hey, we're giving you Black Lightning. And I'm like, Black Lightning? All right.
There were so many question marks with that, man.
As the universe's #1 Black Lightning stan, I have to say I was eating good.
I mean, look, when they went, me being, the fact that show turned into what we love about Black shows, and it's part of the reason why I like the 50 Cent Power Universe stuff. They'll throw in some OG Black famous actors in the show, and we're like, oh my God, I haven't seen this person in years, and they're great, right? Black Lightning did that shit.
Antonio Fogg showing up on that show was hilarious to me. But what really got me, I didn't realize how deep he was into the show and how much he had to do with it and all that, was when Bill Duke showed up. When Bill Duke showed up, it wasn't just his character. He brought his whole style of because he directed like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, everybody kind of took his philosophy, like, oh, we're starting on time. We're doing this. We're doing that. Everybody pretty much leveled up on that show because he showed up there on production. Yeah. And the fact that I like how James Remar turned into one of the most likable old white men ever. Like, it was great.
Dude, me.
Like, and you know me, man, I'm a big fan of China McBride. I'm glad she had that show and immediately did nothing after that, but I'm glad she did that.
Oh, time out. She's eating with Descendants, sir.
She's in Descendants?
Yeah, she's like, what's her face's, Captain Hook's, is it Captain Hook or, I think it's Captain Hook's daughter.
Good for her. Well, good
Yeah,
for
she
her.
did.
Well,
She, that,
I
that,
could have
that-
swore. I
look,
could have swore she's like, I'm tapping out of acting for at
look.
least 2-3 years.
She took a break because her friend died,
Yeah, I
obviously.
know.
But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but the thing of it is, like, they're
She did
like,
she did the thing every light skinned girl does, cut her hair. Everyone does
I
that.
didn't
Everyone
know
do
it's
that.
like Descendants is on the level of Twilight because when I went to San Diego Comic-Con and they said the Descendants cast is going to be there, nothing but women, just like eating, like women of all ages at that Descendants.
That
Like,
reminded me when we went down there and they still had originals down there for their last season. I was like, I'm gonna go by there. Nigga, I couldn't get into the door.
oh, those girls will sit there and kneecap you if you try to cut in line. Like, you kidding me?
It was women and dudes like me. So like, so when you there's a lot of them niggas in there like that. So when you did that scene, wasn't I?
Yo, when they said Chris Williams was gonna be Black Lightning, I was like, hey, Scooter, he's Black Lightning.
I
Great.
saw Chris Williams like, nigga, how you gonna pull this thing, man? And they made all the characters they own and all the rest of that. And you know, I think the last season wasn't great, but it didn't. That wasn't what tanked the show to me. You know what I mean?
But the man that stole the show, Crondon.
Crondon, I like how. Quick story, y'all. So with Tobias, you know, when he played Tobias well, he just had this presence about him, yada yada, whatever. Me and Chris went to San Diego the season 2.
Yeah, season
2 of that, and Crondon was just. I liked him because in the words of Charlie Murphy talking about Rick James, he was mad niggerish. I loved him, man, because he was like, yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, you blah blah blah, you know, yeah, niggas real blah blah blah. So when I went down to Atlanta to see the filming of Black Lightning, and we're talking to all the people, this dude is shaking everybody's hand, normal voice. My name is Melvin. How you doing? I'm like, no, nigga, it's Crondon, but I'm gonna let that go. And I noticed when he was talking, it's like, why is he talking? Why is he using words? Why is he enunciating everything? Come to find out, Bill Duke had a deep effect on him.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't walking the same. He wasn't talking the same. He's like, man, he said, the stuff I learned from Mr. Duke, man, I can never give it back because the way I learned about it, I don't even talk the same no more. And I told him, like, off the channel, I was like, yeah, man, like, dog, last time I met you, man, blah, 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 you, like, yeah, I ain't the same person no more. And you know what black people say that? They mean it. So it's like, I don't know what happened. I'm proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you. Now keep going in there and say monkey and Negro and all the rest of the stuff that we love.
Dude, that was dude. Tobias Well was like Frieza from Dragon Ball energy, and I loved it.
Man, and they made it so perfect because they said, let's get somebody that's albino that doesn't exactly hate his race, but he can't stand black folk. So how can we make this shit work?
Dude, bars from day one. Bars from day one, even down to like when dude got killed, quote unquote killed before he got revived, Khalil. He was like, oh, black people in their funerals, they always singing Negro. I'm like, dog, this is peak villainy right here.
Dude that played Khalil, he actually, I felt bad for him because last season you see him, man, he all got ripped, he all muscles got swollen up. I was like, and I told myself, I hope they don't cancel this show. And I knew they would.
Okay, so here's the funny story. I saw the backdoor pilot they had for his show, and I told Prime that I watched it, right? And because we got it a week early, right? And I did like a little mini review, right? So I told Prime, I was like, Prime, I saw that Painkiller pilot. Have fun, sir. And I just ninja vanished. Prime watched it and it was like, what was that? What was that?
This is what happens. It's one of those things where you can tell no one turned a single page in a comic book.
No one turned a single page in a writing book either.
They really I was about to say that part too. More importantly,
the character in Painkiller.
Somebody got to 11th grade English and said, I got it.
It followed the Berlanti playbook of hero, support team, villain, boom.
It is not a bad playbook when you think about it, but come the fuck on, man.
Whatever green screen they were on, I bet they thought they were so clever. They're like, we're gonna have these comic book visuals. No,
they thought they were on Tron, and it was not. That was it. That's hey, we got Tron at home. That's exactly.
And we got our Wakanda at home too. the name of that fucking
Not
country.
Wakanda. Not Wakanda.
Non-Wakanda. What?
No,
Wakanda.
Complete with two villains who are like thick Nigerian accents.
What the fuck were they thinking, bro?
Hey, it was like, hey, this is black.
Black Panther
look,
we got to understand the effect that Black Panther had on Earth and the Negro audience. So,
I like how you split it up
unfortunately,
between Earth and the Negro.
no, it's the truth. It's the truth. It's the two different things, man. Because it
There's
like
Earth and there's Black Earth. You know, I
Alright,
it's
yeah,
sort of like
fair.
that. You know what I mean? It's
Two Americas. It's two.
so like that. You got to separate it. You can't make them. You can't judge them together because what really happened was because Black Panther was that big where everybody had to be a black hero, all the rest of that.
Had
Blah,
to
blah,
jump
blah,
in
blah.
on that wave.
But my problem was number one, Painkiller. Ooh. If McDuffie was alive, he'd be like, "Why are you doing that?" That's the first thing he would have came out of his mouth.
Duffy will put the
Like,
brakes on this shit.
did we like warm him up in like another show? Okay, we did. How many episodes? This ain't the person I wrote with. What the fuck is y'all doing?
Also, McDuffie, if he was alive, would have been like, "Can I put the mouse on characters in this show?"
I'd be real with you. If McDuffie was alive, no bullshit, and I mean this. If McDuffie was alive, I think a lot of the DC product on television would
have been way better.
Would have been way different. Now, I will be real, just because you know how life is on Prime. Would have been better. I'm gonna say yes, but I think it would have been a step up to what we have gotten, at least in the writing sense. You know
like
what I mean?
You can have something good and it just coasts. That's
like, I have a feeling that Berlanti would have still had what he had when it came to the way the setup of the show was, but when it comes to the writing of the characters, you didn't have to put McDuffie to write episodes. Just have him there to be a consultant, and it would have been so much different.
Black Lightning would at least have one last season at least to finish.
But then again, Black Lightning would have done better. I think Black Lightning would have probably be the main one that would have done
also better. Also, McDuffie would have basically put the screws to Naomi, be like, "No, we're not
doing." But like, you would have killed that in the crib. I'm like, nah.
He's going to be that person. He's sitting there reading the Arrow episode. Y'all did what to Mr. Terrific?
Let me talk about that real quick.
Can I go ahead? Go ahead.
Okay.
No, this nigga ain't gay. So if we're gonna make him gay, let's do it right.
No. Here's the thing. I had no problem with him being gay.
I had no problem. It surprised me.
But I hated
it didn't stop me.
I hated the media rollout for the way they did it. Instead of we just did it. But on top of that, he wasn't even a good gay character. So it's like
no, he wasn't. He wasn't even a good Mr. Terrific. He's Mr. It's all right.
Yo, the media treated it like I have a gay friend. That's the way they treated it.
And I felt bad for the actor because he's really good, but it's just like fuck, like
bro, he was so bad in that role. You know how strong my copium was before he was Mr. Terrific. I was like, okay, so Mr. Terrific's story is that his spouse dies, and it's like, oh, this is Curtis Holt. Okay, this is Curtis Holt. They never said his husband's name, so I'm like, okay. Cool. So maybe he dies, and then the real Mr. Terrific shows up.
Nah, not even.
No. Oh.
You know what for me? You know what for me was? This is my copium. Oh, he got your cornrows. All right.
No. My copium. You got the jacket at least. Fuck. All right, cool. The jacket and the tee. We're good. We're good.
Chris sat in front of me. He said, "Yo, look. He had the fair play.
He had fair play, and he had the tee. I'm fine. All right, cool.
Go home."
Not only was the CW content with ruining one Mr. Terrific, they had to retroactively ruin Terry too and go, oh, he was a professional wrestler. Really? You had to take down two Mr. Terrifics in one shot? Really?
Okay. Then, come on, man.
But yeah, the upside was
nobody wants to know about that. Come on.
I actually like Wild Dog. I like Wild Dog. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of liked him.
I did until that nigga became a snitch. Oh,
D was in tears. He's like, yeah, fucking snitch. And I'm like,
no. Here's the worst part, because I knew he would, because they kept on bringing up his daughter and shit, and I was like, this nigga gonna flip it any second. And when he did, that's when I said, okay, whole show thrown in the trash, because I can't do it no more. Well, I can't do it.
You know what I threw it in the trash? It's the pettiest thing. When they switched him from the fucking hockey jersey to a fucking uniform, I'm like, the uniform is fucking terrible. Put it back in the damn hockey uniform. What are we doing here?
If you want to have him come out here looking like Casey Jones, man, come on, man. What are
Thank
y'all
you.
doing?
Like,
What are we doing here?
Yo, between him and Diggle with that bullshit Magneto mask before they finally was like, okay, we really need to put some money behind Diggle a little bit.
I would never.
But CJ,
forgive.
it lights up. It lights up. What do
Shut
you
fuck up.
what do you mean?
I will never forgive
The Magneto jokes.
MCU fans saw DC fans and lockjawed on our ass about that one for about 2 months.
First of all, hold on. First of all, niggas in glass houses should not throw stones.
They shouldn't, but here we are. Here we are.
Hey, look,
motherfucker.
Hey,
y'all the kings and queens, the tactical. How dare you? How fucking dare you?
Tactical, but here's the thing. We will never live down Captain America's outfit in the first Avengers film. That's like, I see the vision, but it ain't hitting. Sorry, it ain't hitting. I hate to tell you this.
Oh my God.
It's not hitting. So no, you're right, but at the same time,
the lights. I forgot all about the fucking lights.
And before they finally, I think it was the second crossover, they finally gave Diggle a fucking proper helmet. I'm like, it took long enough. Goddamn, like what was the thought process in giving them the Magneto helmet?
Nigga Nito running around out there, yeah.
Nigga Nito. Oh my God.
What, like
Nick Nito.
Nick Nito.
Oh no, the jokes were so bad that somebody really did put them in the background from when X-Men Apocalypse came out. They put Diggle with the fucking shit on there.
I will never forget. They had the money shot of all the I was about to say the Z fighters, but it had all
Earth Special Forces.
Thank you, Earth Special Forces. I couldn't say that, but when they had all the Arrow, Flash, all of them lined out, I will never forget. I'm over there with Chris. He still got that helmet.
But that leather jacket though, man.
The leather jacket. Shut the fuck up. You go home.
Hitting though.
I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of in the same vein of how people looked at Widow reloading the gun in Avengers, like, what the fuck that bitch gonna do against the fucking damn aliens?
Yo, to this day, the woman is so mad that Black Widow was a founding Avenger because she's like, what the bitch gonna do? Flip around and lie? The fuck?
My dad, my pops hated the fact. It was both of them. It was Hawkman, it was Hawkeye and Widow. My dad, I will never forget it. The fuck you gonna do with the Arrow?
At least no.
I'm over here trying to look. Dad, look, he doing it without looking.
No,
man. My dad, like, shut up. What you gonna do to Ellie?
Hawkeye has trick arrows, so there's like, okay,
there's trick arrows.
It's like in sports terms, it's like he went from like a 65 to a 75. All right, so it's like, all right. He could do some shit, all right?
No. This is what I said. I was like, Dad, come on. I'm like, Dad, nah, he could do this shit. My dad, like, that's so stupid. Like, if my dad said, like, what? Like, if he did, like, you mean to tell me that's gonna kill an alien? I'm gonna be real with you, Dad. If this was a scroll, both them niggas is dead. They would have been gone.
Well, remember Secret Invasion the comic? They had that full spread, and Widow got the silencer on the fucking MP5. I'm like,
I still call bull crap on that.
It's like, out of all the street level heroes, Daredevil, okay, I get it. He blind, but
Daredevil may be the only one on the street level. And maybe
Iron Fist and Luke Cage, because,
like, just those three defenders. Nobody else.
Jessica Jones, what's she going to do? What's Jessica Jones going to do? I mean, she can fly.
What's Jessica going to do? What the fuck she going to do?
She had flight and super strength, didn't she?
Mm-hmm. She had super strength.
She could do some stuff.
But they won't tell her to stay around.
But Widow, I'm like, Widow. I'm like, Widow,
stay home.
No, Widow, I'm like, you're on the front cover right next to Cap saying Avengers Assemble, and I'm like, but you got an MP5 with a silencer, like Punisher's not even there, and he knew better not to be there. So what the like come on, bro, like, what are we doing here? Like,
Punisher's like, did those aliens sell TVs? Nah, I don't give a fuck.
Frank, we need you out here. Nah, I'm good.
They didn't murder.
No.
Are they slanging the marijuana on the corner? No, then I don't give a fuck what you calling me for.
I'm sorry.
First off,
those Negroes outside after 8:00.
Hold up.
Punisher is needed.
Hold up. Are the aliens black? No, I'm good.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I always see when we say this, I always do question who's worse, Batman or Punisher. I like, but Punisher kills
Punisher,
people. Punisher straight up murks people, man. Yeah, Batman, punch.
No, here's the difference.
Give me the
I
time,
have read,
man.
I have
I
seen
get
comics
it.
where the Punisher has just killed children who've stolen a television set. So, like,
here's the difference.
That's what I'm saying.
No, Batman will break your leg and then pay for your hospital bill. Punisher will just put a bullet in your head and you just jaywalked. That's the difference, all right?
That's what I'm saying. I seen Batman suplex old people, and yet he ain't on the level of Frank Castle going zero tolerance. You know what I mean?
No. That's why
you commit a crime, you gotta go.
That's why I was so
Trying to clean
mixed.
up LA, and all you motherfuckers keep digging.
This is why I was so mixed in Civil War in the comic where he shot the fucking 2 E-list villains and Cap beat the shit out of them. I'm like, technically Punisher got a point. They were villains here. I'm just saying, like,
not to be that guy in the room, but criminal doesn't mean evil.
Okay, fair. You're right. You're right.
See,
Due process.
No, that's
You're
the
100% right.
No, that's the Superman fan coming out of him, man. That's the Superman fan. I give Superman that. Superman. Wait a minute. Wait. He needs to go to court first. We can't do this.
Yeah, and that was the reason why Captain America beat the shit out of Punisher. Like, bro, due process. What the fuck, man? Like,
Still reminds me, and Chris, when Captain Sunshine dropped the Monarch off in the middle of jail, and Monarch came right out of jail. Yeah, this motherfucker never heard the word due process. I'm like, thank you. I hate villains. It's like, here's the bad guy. See ya, and flies off. And you're like, that's not how due process works.
Which, ironically enough, that was a plot point in Arrow with Ollie running as mayor. Like, hey, bro, you threw them villains in jail. You were a vigilante. They probably shouldn't be in jail.
Bobby Booey, how Sir Speed
I am Arrow.
I thought that was so stupid. Look, the whole Ollie being the mayor thing, boy, I felt that was grasping straws because they felt like they did everything wrong with that whole plot line, man.
Here's the thing. Here's why it didn't work. Number one, and I'm glad they didn't do it. They were supposed to do a Black Lives Matter episode, and somebody in the right.
I remember.
And I still hold this theory to be true. Somebody in the writers' room was like, "Time out. Ollie is not liberal, so why are we doing this a Black Lives Matter episode again?"
Or I feel like the one time somebody in the writers' room looked around, I was like, I need y'all to take a look around this room. Are we capable? Let's be for real. Are we capable?
Look, they look at the one black writer. Don't look at me. I don't even want to do it.
I only wrote like 3 episodes.
I've been pitching the question since season 3, so I don't know what the fuck y'all looking at me for, dog. I don't want to tell you.
When they said that,
Montoya, and I will keep saying that until y'all kick me out the room. Renee Montoya. That's all we need to do.
Nah, when they said that they were going to do a Black Lives Matter episode,
I forgot
there was
at
a collective.
The height of it.
There was a collect. They even Black Twitter, even the ones that don't even sniff superhero shows, like, time out. You want Steve Amell to be the
Freddie Gray's body wasn't even cold in the grave yet, and they was like, we need to do this shit. And I really felt like the news getting out was them trying to, like,
temperature check.
Get the pulse of what the audience think. That should we go ahead and do this shit? Like, here's the funny thing.
The room says no.
Like, here's the funny thing: when it comes to doing any type of real life politics like that, you have to thank God they looked around and said, "Nah, we can't do it," because you have to do stuff like that correctly, or at least show it in a type of way to really enhance your story. You know what I mean?
Now, to their credit, and now keep in mind, I'm not gonna do this often, so write time and a date down, put the timestamp on this episode. Okay. To their credit. Their gun control episode was actually handled pretty well.
Yeah.
I forgot that one too. Yeah.
That could have easily been a disaster, but they showed some restraint. They showed some nuance. Now, my question is, after that, where the fuck were these writers during Batwoman? Where was that restraint then and there?
Okay. So
Batwoman,
Batwoman was every bit Batwoman, upon watching the whole show from beginning to end.
First of all, sir, You deserve a medal or
Good for
a mental
you.
health or a mental
3
health checkup.
episodes. D got through
Look,
3
look,
episodes
to be honest
and
with
then show
you-
up until Kevin Conroy showed up for 2.5 seconds.
To be honest with you, when Batwoman turned into a black woman, I watched it way more because I actually like the actress. She's actually really good, and she, God bless her, with the material that they gave her, you know. But like, Batwoman was every bit of the SJW shit that the Dubros swear everything else is.
And you know
And
what?
I'm
I was
not
gonna
even
say,
joking on that. I rarely ever
I
say that.
hate-
Rarely say
I
that.
hate to use that terminology, but you ain't lying. It's like it's almost like a fucking parody. If you told me that Batwoman is a fucking YouTube short joke, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. No,
You know how they say woke all the time?
Godness,
That show,
real
Thank
fucking
you.
show.
Chris, thank you, because when I watched the show, I much like I said with the Harley Quinn show, because I don't watch that no more. But when I did watch that show, I always did say it's a white girl's power fantasy. And I'm like, here's the funny thing: I was cool with it when I was watching it. You know, it kind of lost me, but whatever. But when I watched Batwoman, I was like,
oh, they lean heavy on
there's a
it.
lot.
Here's the
Here's me.
difference.
No,
Here's the
Chris,
difference.
you could smell the smells like William Sonoma. I could smell the lesbian pouring out of this thing. Ew.
Not just that. It's not a
bad
white girl.
writing.
Not just a white girl fantasy. It was a white savior fantasy. It was written by a white savior who thought, oh, I'm doing a social good. I'm doing a social justice. No, but I'm gonna need you to go read a fucking book.
Thank you.
That's what I'm gonna need you to go do.
And that's what I'm saying. Like with the Harley Quinn show, I can see where the comedy came from and all the rest of it. It just like, to me, with that show, it's like you either want to be there for the comedy or you really, really legit love the Harley Quinn character like that. That's where it kind of tore me in half, because I still like Harley. I love Harley. That's my girl. But let's call a spade a spade. It's a white girl power fantasy. It really is with her.
Part
you know?
about Batwoman.
It's like looking at Deadpool and you're in there with a whole bunch of dude bros. It's the same thing.
The shitty part about Batwoman was that Ruby Rose ultimately was not fit for that role.
No, she wasn't. The second she did her little cute lesbian bite her lip move, I was like, I hate this show. I already know what you're trying to. I already know who you're marketing it to, and she's too. Number one, she's too. Not to say she's too pretty to be Batwoman, but she's too obnoxious to be Batwoman. Like
I was willing to give her the benefit of the doubt, like I gave Steve Amell. Like, okay, maybe Ruby will grow into it, but it was like there was no signs in that first season of her really progressing in that way.
Absolutely none.
No.
And you know me, you can check the fucking feed. I from day one was against Ruby Rose as Batwoman. And everyone was like, oh, but Prime, she was great in John Wick. She didn't fucking
say anything.
There's actors that directors know that they have limits, because she was great in John Wick 2. She wasn't really that great in Triple X Return of Xandercation.
Oh no, yeah, and that's why I didn't.
She wasn't great in Resident Evil either. So
yeah, she wasn't Resident Evil.
Sir.
Nobody was good in Resident Evil though. Nobody. From the director on down, nobody was good with that.
Those dogs are carrying those scenes, bro. I can't co-sign on that.
You need to go home.
I can't co-sign on that one, dog. Those are the best boys on screen.
But I mean, look. But so when they brought in what's her face to be Batwoman, and they came up with a stupid ass excuse for it and stuff, but I didn't to be honest with you, I didn't care, because at the same time I was like, well, Ruby Rose ain't in. We got a better actor, which again, bar is low. So whoever was going to be Batwoman, as long as she was just better than Ruby Rose, that she looks like she can actually read a fucking script, we're fine.
Now the actress was much better. The character somehow
was still worse. It's like, how do you? And you know what? It goes back to this. Number one, the show didn't have any black writers on that staff, because for some reason they did not know how to write a black woman and her relationship with another black woman. That should have been a black man, or a black man for that matter. So it's like, you already fucked up. Your Batman, they did some weird thing where it was it Clayface that ended up being Bruce the whole time or some shit like that?
No, they did some shit where they brought in Hush. They brought in Hush.
Yeah, they brought in Hush. Hush was the Bruce Wayne that we talked to the whole time in this Arrowverse Batman.
Why? No, it wasn't the whole time. Bruce had left and he came back to usurp his throne and do Hush shit.
Yeah.
And then the real Kate Kane came back as the chick from Krypton.
Yeah.
and her goal is to go off and find Bruce. So here's my thing.
You're already confusing the audience with multiple
here-
shit at the same time.
Here's my thing. So the character we're following now is the ex spy of an ex spy of an ex spy. So like, what do we? We're how many layers removed from the actual character now? Like, what the fuck?
Also, we also get the League of Assassins back into the fold again, and also, oh, by the way, we have Black Joker.
No, you mean the gay version?
the gay version of the League of Assassins.
The chick in the white dress. What was her name?
Not Rachel
My
Al Ghul.
man said,
Not Rachel.
Rachel Al Ghul, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Razi Yagu. I don't.
the gay.
Look, here's the thing. The gay version. Look, I love Talia and Talicia in Arrow. I love both of those characters. Right?
Why the fuck didn't they show up? Like
That was
Nissa
weird.
was gay in Arrow.
Yeah,
Why-
Nisa. Like
Why
I like both of them. They were great in the show, you know. And it's like we were here and you went down. Oh, and by the way, Black Joker on deck
Black Joker.
because Batwoman needs a
I
Joker.
thought I had a
and
joke for that. I thought I did.
I get it.
Batwoman literally was like, we need a Joker, and they made this dude, random black dude, like he's Joker.
Who turned out to be her brother because her mother put her up for adoption to protect her from her psychopathic brother instead
It's
of
gonna make
maybe.
me throw up.
Yeah,
Instead
that's
of
how
maybe- I
bad
don't know.
that's how bad it was, and then boom, the show got
So-
canceled. And I was like, good fucking riddance. God
Again, you all are welcome. I did that. I prayed for it. And God
Glad
answered my
I
prayer.
prayed for this.
You know, that came back to haunt me because I remember, just so many incensed people.
Oh, because it was
Like-
the
like
show
you
was
can-
already didn't make sense, and
D.
now you do this, and I'm like,
D.
all right.
D. You want to know how bad the show is? This is how bad the show is. There was an entire B plot, not a gag scene, not a one-off line, not a throwaway line. It was an entire B plot of an episode where the public thought Batwoman was straight because she was seen being helped by a police officer that everyone thought was
Yup.
attractive.
Yup.
And she was mad as hell. She's like, I am not straight. I'm gay. And Luke Fox was like, okay, here's the thing. You're also not 6 foot in a redhead. So any degree of separation between you and Batwoman, the better. Because that's what's called a fucking secret identity, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And they invested the entire B plot to resolving this issue where she had to let people know that she wasn't straight.
So what happened? Did she like?
Kiss a woman.
No. Did she like? Crime was foiled, and then she shot a flare in the air, and the rainbow sign came over or something like.
I wish.
She went, and
Or
got an
did she
interview.
just? Or did she just went on like live TV and just ate out a chick? Like what happened?
She did an interview with Supergirl and published it in the magazine and had it plastered all over billboards. That's how they resolved that part.
So I just want to put this out here. Imagine if you stopped the whole plot of Batman and Bruce was like, nah. Everybody gotta know I'm hetero as hell.
Like I'm getting mad pussy, and everyone has to know this right away.
And I know the joke. Well, it's Bruce Wayne. Yada yada yada. No.
No, you don't understand.
No, that need to know a Batman.
You know,
Batman gets it.
gets
Like,
pussy.
do you know how weird that is?
And that's what. And the thing of it is,
That's the entire energy of
hold
that whole
up.
fucking show.
And hold
Batwoman
up,
from-
and let's just bring it back. Let's say if you like Batman's like, nah, man, I like sucking. I like, hey man, the fatter the dick, the better. You know what I mean? Like they need to know I'm gay. Like Master Bruce. There are people.
The Joker just
dying.
released a toxin into the river stream as we are talking here.
You know what's toxic? You know what's toxic? You trying to not you saying that I cannot be a gay superhero.
I didn't say you couldn't.
Do
Master
you
Bruce.
do you
I'm just
realize
saying
the madness of that?
priorities?
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna say it. It was the same writers that was going to do the Powerpuff Girls show. I guarantee.
Oh, we
it
dodged
was
the
the
bullet with that
same
shit.
writers.
Hold on,
Guarantee.
but wait,
the same writers.
But wait, I'm not done. I have a second moment for you.
I'm sorry.
I have a second one for you because, like, unfortunately, I watched this whole TV show, so y'all didn't have to.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, sir. God
All
will
right.
bless you.
We watched it.
I won't. My loyalty is never rewarded. So,
Well, you know,
Second
except for a
moment.
Naomi DVD from fam.
Come on.
Whoever
Special
sent
Laws
that
right
shit
there.
to me, whoever sent that shit to me, you need to reveal yourself. I'm not mad. I just want to talk to you. I just want to talk to you.
I
That's all.
thought Prime jokingly
Man.
bought it and just said a fan gave it to him. He's like, no, he showed me the packaging.
I'm
Somebody
mad
sent that
as
shit
hell.
to
This
him.
nigga
Somebody
hopped
sent that
on
shit to my
Twitter.
house.
Twitter, seeing Prime's fingernail on it and everything. Like, look what came in. I'm like, what?
Whoever sent that shit to me.
They
You
sent
just,
them
that's all I
Naomi,
wanna
and
talk
I
to you.
was
That's
on
what I
the
wanna talk to you.
ground.
That's all.
I was on the floor in tears because I was like, bro.
Just want to talk. That's all I just want to
A
talk to you. I'm
part of
not
me,
mad.
look,
wanna
Prime,
talk
because
to
I know you well enough, I was telling myself, that nigga, I said to myself as a joke, that nigga bought that shit. And then like 2.5 seconds, ain't no fucking way he bought that shit. Who
Yeah,
gave you that?
Prime had the Arthur Fist locked and loaded. Like, what the fuck?
Who the fuck?
No, that-
This conversation. That's all. I just want to talk to you. Just want to talk
Did
to
you
you. That's
talk
all.
to the? Did you talk to the woman? Did you talk to her?
She don't fucking know.
I was
She
about
don't
to say.
fucking know.
Sure, they're
First
like,
of all,
I don't even know. I don't even know. She's like, I know it was me.
First of all, she would not waste money like that. She thought that made me mad. I'm like, you can't. Motherfucker.
See, that's
Motherfucker.
love when she tells you, "I'm not going to buy Naomi." It's just
This
self love.
Like,
Yeah,
she
self-love.
she sent you there. It's like this. So what you trying to say? It's like it's
Is it
personal.
divorce?
now.
Is this a fight?
Is your funny way of saying that I ain't doing something now? No,
I'm sorry,
we
I
having
didn't.
talk right now. We having this conversation.
I've been like, yo, my bad, baby. I'll take out the trash. Fuck, like, goddamn, like.
So you want to tell me about this? No. And this is how you know she did it. I don't know. Do you want to talk about it? That's how you know she did it. The fact that she went cross-eyed when you showed her that shit told you everything. Like, yeah, who the fuck?
No, but what was the second moment, D?
The second moment.
Second moment.
So after an attack where the city of Gotham had was it a gas attack?
Yeah, it was
And
the
so
gas attack.
hospitals are flooded with people. They're injured, the sick, and the dying.
Mm-hmm.
The black Batwoman comes to the hospital because her drug dealing girlfriend is injured.
Mm-hmm.
All right, no, sorry, it was Batwoman who was injured. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's Batwoman who was injured. Her drug dealing girlfriend was trying to get her help,
Mhm.
and the doctor was like, "We'll be with you in a moment. We're sorry, as you can see, we're sorry because there are bodies everywhere in the hospital. The hospital is pure chaos." The drug dealing girlfriend pulls the doctor to the side and go, "No, I need someone to see my friend right now. And you know the medical care has biases against black people," and was going off of some white woman fucking this, that, and other better. And I'm like, bitch, we were just attacked by terrorists. Like,
Sorry,
there's a
there are other
7-year-old.
people.
There's a 7-year-old in the
people
bed right here
talking.
dying right now, and you're gonna fucking social justice preach at me about fucking medical black bias, bitch? Are you fucking for real right now?
I like how you do that because the black bias actually comes in, during the process of us being processed, not before we even get into the doctor's office. Also, where the black bias come in is where black women are told that they're not going through a lot of pain when actually they are, because there's a thing that's imprinted into all these medical journals is that the Negroes, we can
Have
take
a
a
high
higher
tolerance
tolerance
of
of pain than anybody else. So a black woman needs to literally be foaming at the mouth with a doctor's note saying that she's in pain for them to go, well, I think she's serious. So that's where that comes in. Not in the normal bias where you're seeing footnotes that you read off the root.com to say what the hell happened.
And you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Wow,
but my thing is
that's
like,
offensive, bro. I'm sorry.
Look
That's
at the fucking room. Look at the fucking room.
Thank
Maybe
you.
pick a time and a fucking place for that soapbox to go up, motherfucker. Like, it doesn't make sense in the context of the situation going on.
Because as a dude that worked at a hospital, if you are going to sit on a soapbox, you know what we do as security? All right, you done? You done now? Okay, come on now, man. Let's get out. Like, you got to sit right there. I'm sorry. I know. The healthcare system suck, baby.
Pick your fucking John Q moments a little better. Is all I'm fucking saying. You know what I mean?
Did she at least shoot in the air? Did you at least pow, 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 pow? My friend needs help. Did she do that?
You know what I thought was hilarious though, but it was on point. Robin Givens is revealed as her mom.
In the words of Milhouse and The Simpsons, we're beyond the looking glass now, people.
I saw Robin Givens in the show and I was like, oh, that's her mom. Huh.
Here's the thing about Robin Givens. Robin has always been what I call serviceable. So shut up. I wasn't even call her bad. All right, Jesus. I didn't even call her bad.
It's actually serviceable. It's cool. It's great.
Yo, you need a pretty chick to show. You need a pretty black chick to show up. Come on, Robin, get your ass out here. You ain't Layla Rashawn, but
I'll tell you, it wasn't pretty. Somebody at DC was like, all right. Normally, when you greenlit a show based off a character has to at least have a measure of history, right? Like it took a minute for Miles before he finally got into the Spider-Verse because he found, even in the video games, because he actually built up a history of like, besides his rogues gallery, but just stories.
It took 2 games for him to get his
yeah.
game.
But even the comics, it took like what 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years, basically.
It took a minute.
Somewhere around that time before he finally got something, right? So WB was like, all right. We did good with Black Lightning. What's another black character that we can do? Now you would think logically, okay, Static, because that's the logical step.
Vixen.
Static, right?
Firestorm.
Vixen. You have Vixen in Legends of Tomorrow. You set it up because of her great grandmother or whatever with the totem. You set something up with it, right?
They kind of like did that, and
I know.
That's all I can say.
But you have black characters in DC that you could probably get some seasons of shows out of. You know what they went with? Naomi, a brand new character who just debuted in comics and only had like 2 issues up until they announced her getting the show. And I was like, how do you do a show on a character that just...
Do you know how many characters she had to walk by? They had to walk by to get to her.
There's a lot.
All right, we're gonna have to do some. All right, guys, we can do this.
Bumblebee still.
All right, guys, we can do this. We know that his name is Diggle, but we can do some bullshit. We can do some bullshit and still make this guy a Green Lantern. Let's use Naomi. Got it. Let's go. Let's go with her. Like
that was still funny.
I mean,
they said
we could do that. We could, but why? Why would we do that? Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that?
It's the Ian Malcolm line of your scientist
was so preoccupied that you didn't ask if you should.
Thank you. That's exactly what that was.
My thing is this. What is wrong with John Henry still? What is wrong with him? Is this something that I'm not seeing?
I mean, you're right. He is too base.
Is this thankfully
he's in Superman and Lois. So
Yeah, yes, yeah. It's great. It's fun.
Hey man, look. Take your victories. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll take the victories.
I'm taking.
But it's just Static was like right there. It's right there. I mean,
I'm like, and if you wanted a female-led show, I'm like, Dr. Light? Like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on?
Wasn't Dr. Light in the Arrowverse? I forgot who
she was.
Was it Flash?
A version of her was in Flash.
In the Flash, yeah, in the Flash. Yeah. Which side note, did y'all love when they did like the evil Earth, and it was like the evil versions of all the villains, and they showed the evil Hawkman, and I was like, I see what you did there, show. You thought we forgot about the Hawks, and you put them in the show. It's great.
I hate how DC does this better than Marvel to me, where they will take your most like you said, on the ground, hurdle to jump type of thing, and everybody be over it. Teen Titans go do it by putting little Easter eggs in the background. You'd be like, this is so stupid. Hey, look at that picture in the background. I like Killer Croc, and you just be over that shit. So you can do the minute thing and just mention people, and we'll be like, oh.
Nah, these niggas said we're gonna do Naomi, and the character is gonna be runs a Superman fan site.
Okay, help me, because D knows nothing of Naomi. I know nothing of her. All I knew was they picked the first Negro they saw, and they said, "Let's give her a show."
Well,
I don't know.
She's a Bendis character. That's all
which means if you know how Bendis writes black characters,
so let me guess. It's his vision.
Yeah, it's his vision. You know,
his vision.
But unlike Miles, where it looks like somebody told him no in certain things, which is why Miles is what the character he is now. Naomi, they just said, "Do whatever you want, Bendis, go for it." And it's like,
so all right. Is she just a version of Oracle that can walk or something? Like, what is? Like, what does she do?
Think Rogue, and then she has energy manipulation powers on top of that. So I'm talking like Rogue, 90s Rogue that had Captain Marvel's powers, but then she also has energy manipulation powers on top of that.
And she also has dreads and doesn't wear shoes. We're hitting all demographics here. As you said, we're through the looking class people.
I'm just mad that she said she has no shoes. I'm trying to think of a way.
The fact that Prime emphasized that, but he's right.
Bitch ain't got no shoes, yo. Like, I don't know how to
She
make
out
that
here.
clear. There ain't no sneakers down there.
She's out here barefooted. That's all I'm trying to tell
I
you.
ain't gonna lie.
I got a question. Wait a minute, hold on.
I thought that's what
And
Prime was
and
pissed
what
off initially on the
DC
show because she wasn't barefoot. She had tennis shoes. Like, how dare they do? I thought that's why he was angry at first, but it was like, nah, this show is just bad. It's terrible.
What Detective Comic City is she in?
She's in Portland, Oregon, sir. Dead ass. That's where the show takes place, Oregon.
Ain't nobody up there black except the Portland Trailblazers. So how?
The whole crux of the show is she
I
gets
still think Clyde Drexler got a house up there. But
he had 9/11 truther living in the woods.
Oh God, are
But
you
not
serious?
yeah, she gets
Okay,
she gets the powers from some mysterious alien object. I'm gonna say aliens. And the whole show is literally her trying to figure out the origin of it. And the one scene that everybody picks out, like, what the fuck is this, is when she flies. And it's like, what Adobe Premiere
Paint.net, sir.
Paint.net did you do to you know how when people fly, there's like a sort of like your look to the character when they fly, right? D, I swear, it looked like she looked very bored when she was flying.
They just did the snippet tool and just drag.
Just look like this when you're flying.
You know who's an underrated character that a lot of people don't talk about? We don't talk about Rocket and how actual important she is to when it comes to black superheroes. I just want to mention her.
Could have had Rocket.
Could have Rocket. Could have Rocket. Black girl who is a surgeon. Not a surgeon.
Single mom surgeon.
Single mom. Yeah. You know, you could have done something with this.
Or you know what? If you thought that maybe you couldn't do anything, you know, powers and all this shit is expensive, you could have done Anita Fight from Young Justice, who had her secret agent father, or you could have made him a cop in the show. You could have had a dynamic between her and him, and her living in were they from Narlands? What was Anita's?
Maybe.
Anyway, you could have did something with her. She basically just been a fucking voodoo ninja. I mean, you know, could have done a lot of really cool fight scenes.
You know what? Could have been a regular cop from Bloodhaven.
As much as they tease Bloodhaven and Arrowverse, might as well.
You think they would have? That's why I looked at you funny when you said Portland. I'm like, nigga, not Coast City.
That's the thing.
Not like, Happy Harbor.
And if we're pulling new characters, I mean, I've always said the Silencer has a great set. That could have been some cool shit you could have done with.
Onomatopoeia, man.
I mean,
they
gender based and race swap that person for Superman and Lois.
You could have, you know what? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not for it all the time, but you know what? Gender bends. You could have gender been static. You could have.
Well, I don't know.
Could have. I don't know how you gonna do it, but I'm just saying.
You already got a contingent of folks that was like, they killed my Chadwick Boseman. So, like, you gender bend static, then people are gonna be like, "Where's my male representation?" And they're gonna lose their fucking mind and act like black men are being exterminated systematically.
I forgot they would have. They would have lit.
Now, here's the thing. I'm joking about that.
People would have watched the show, boy.
I'm joking. So see, here's the thing. I'm joking about that, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I kind of get the anger because it's like there's too many black women in the DC universe that you could have did to do that. Like, it just
there's way too many, man. That's no excuse to me.
But nah,
it's already bad enough they gave. It's already bad enough they gave Vixen a quick TV show, not even TV show, cartoon,
animated shorts,
which were
on CW
Seed. Which amounted to about 75 minutes.
I am so pissed off at a lot of these things that were supposed to be these little apps and shit that went nowhere.
God, we were a proper nation, you know, before streaming took over. It was like, get the CW app.
The CW app, I remember it was something that we had to do. It was something that came on. I was watching Black Lightning through that shit.
Yeah, because it was basically like it comes on there quicker than it would be on VOD and on demand, basically. So it was like forcing you to do it. But you know, speaking of force, Flash, just like Arrow, a lot of ups and downs. COVID season was basically them taking a gun and shooting both kneecaps out on the show because it like Flash dragged itself to the finish line, and it's
shout out to the showrunner who decided to insert his character that he had in 3 issues of a Teen Titan comic and made her a main fucking character. You know what, bro? I respect the hustle. I respect
hey,
the
look, when you know your show's about to end, fuck it. Might as well just YOLO and see what happens.
Get the residual checks, bro. I appreciate that. I understand.
Dude, the last 2 seasons of The Flash was just weird. Weird in a sense of like they were just throwing shit like, all right, bring back all the Flash villains and the speedsters, and it's like, so why is Flash
real?
Why are they doing lightsaber fights with lightning?
What really killed the show was after I was gonna call this nigga Brainiac. Good lord, the smart nigga.
The smart dude in the wheelchair. Yeah,
thinker.
Yeah,
the thinker. After that season, you can really tell that they kind of like
they're spinning their wheels.
I would say they were spinning their wheels in that season, but you can tell they were stretching everything out. And again, you gotta look at what was going on at the time. It was just because superhero shows and movies were at its height. So it felt like it was trying to keep up. And by the time, like you said, COVID killed it. COVID really killed it.
When you're in a bad spot and you need that jolt, it's a Thanos meme. You couldn't live without the failure. So what does that bring you back to me? They brought back Eobard Thorne by hook or crook. They were like, all right, he's the villain. And I'm like, all right. I mean, I guess if you gotta go out bring him back.
And it's actually sad because when you outside of Legends, Flash didn't deserve to go out like that to me. It did.
It was weird. The decisions, Kid Flash, kind of being relegated.
And you can be real. It probably went on 2 seasons too long or whatever you want on that. Yeah, that's fine. And I actually will agree with that. But the way it went out to just like a meh, it was done. You know what I mean?
I mean, because even the finale, it was like it ended on like, all right, hope for the future, and Flash got his birth of his kids. Cool. All right.
Like, because and also just real talk, the audience is probably worn out because there's so much what happened in the future, what happened in the past, and you're going back and forth, and it is like you can only have Barry break the fucking universe so many times until the audience you can keep it up with a comic book, all right? Comic book people will read that shit forever.
Especially
you know what I mean? But you can't do it on a television show. You just can't, man.
Especially the shit with Despero. That was weird. That was a weird that Apocalypse. It was called Apocalypse. Right? Armageddon. That was a weird crossover thing because they started going into different types of speed, types of forces, and it's like, okay, you're doing some stuff that comic books do, but like it just felt wonky when it came down to it.
Again, you can do it in a comic, but you can't do it in television serial. You can't do it like that.
And I think one of the things that really hindered is, like you said, there's only so many times Flash can break the sound barrier, and there's only so many times that Barry can keep learning the same fucking lesson. And that shit became a meme. That shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna fuck up the timeline again.
Like you
goddamn song.
Like I will always give the Flash this. I will give the television show this, and I really mean it. I always liked the Flash. I didn't love the Flash until that show showed up because knowing that show, I read up on Barry Allen, and what I found out was Wally West is the fucking man. And and because of this show, I got into Flash.
It's like Arrow. It's like Arrow. The first 2 seasons, fire.
Yeah. Despite me knowing what the Flash is, and despite to this day Flashpoint Paradox being my favorite DC animated movie, I still didn't respect the Flash like that until that show came out. And I remember when we had a show about a long time ago in Prime, you dropped that on me, and ever since then it may have fucked it up, but at the same time I appreciate it. You said if you look at the whole first season, remember that was all supposed to be a movie, and they split it up and they stretched the shit out, and that's why the first season was, despite it going like a roller coaster, you were like, this is stupid. What, man? Wait, whoa, who was what? What? Yo, you mean to tell me he's actually done? Like, you were excited to shit. And after that, yeah, it was going to go down a hill, but at least it kept up the momentum until about the 5th season.
Because I love the 2nd season with Solomon and all that. And I was like, oh shit, this is all right, cool. Y'all doing some crazy stuff. And I think one of the victims of the Flash that I kind of hated was Kid Flash, the actor, and it felt like I kind of and obviously I don't know if it was the actor's rationale for wanting to leave the show, but it felt like once they had Kid Flash, they were going in one direction, and then they realized maybe they just didn't want to go in that direction. And it was like, all right, well, we're just gonna still stick with Barry instead of
Yeah,
Wally.
I think a lot of it is also the actor. I think they wanted to step down. Sorry, they wanted to step down because they had a lot of things, going on, and so burnout and all that.
Never seen them since then. So I like. Are they in some? This is so stupid. Is he in something again?
Not that I'm aware of, but yeah.
But yeah, they were doing stuff, and like I said, after the Thinker, that's when it was kind of like show's getting a little weird.
Even with the shit with the Thinker, because the Thinker made everything harder, and the harder you make these villains try to outflash the Flash, it kind of made the stakes so high to wherever the next thing was going to be, it was going to wear out the audience.
They do stuff
I saw the audience getting worn out through the whole season of the Thinker.
Well, you know what?
Remember when the Thinker like mid-season started walking? We was like, "Yo!"
Here's what it got weird.
I was telling myself, "Oh God, I'm tired."
But here's what it got weird for folks. It was how they handled Elongated Man. Like the actor in real life, he did. Okay, I'm not gonna make light of what he did. It was basically like, I think he groped a chick or some shit, right?
No, he just had some really off-color tweets.
I thought he groped somebody. Okay, he said some off-color tweets, right?
Now, he just had some really bad tweets.
It was bad tweets, but it wasn't recent or years?
Years ago. Matter of fact, I think James Gunn had worse tweets than he did.
Yeah, so basically he tweeted something years ago, and everybody was like, "Oh man, why did he tweet that?" And they did the thing of where they overreacted and fired him. I'm like, "Whoa, guys, you could have just pulled him to the side and been like, bro, are you still tweeting like this?" No, okay, cool. Yo, they overreacted and fired him, and I'm like, "Whoa, why would you?" No,
I was about to say, if he Gina Carano that junk, it would be a whole different story. If he was like, "Nah, fuck him." If
you look at the time period, he just said some white edgelord jokes that wouldn't land today, and it's like, okay, cool, fine, whatever. I don't give a shit. Like clearly, if you look at his Twitter now, he wasn't saying that shit. So it's like
look at Twitter. James Gunn has said worse shit than he did.
It was basically like, if he's not doing this shit now, why are we concerned with what he said some shit 6 years ago?
It's one of those things where we still like. I feel like a lot of people still haven't learned that lesson yet when it comes to Twitter, and it is something I learned a long time ago. Whatever you say online is going to stay online. True. But people change. Yeah, your words, what you said in the past, they're going to be that way. But you as a person can change. You got to give people at least that much space. You know what I mean?
Fired him, and then it was like, all right, what are we gonna do with Elongated Man? We'll make some weird shit happen to where he transforms as somebody else and then just disappears. And I'm like, well, there goes one good character, another good character.
I remember when they said Elongated Man. I remember so many people bitching why you couldn't put Plastic Man in it, and then people like Chris, because Chris loves obscure heroes. What's wrong with Elongated Man? He was in Justice League. Like,
hey, that's what made the joke funny.
You were fighting people online. Like,
that's what made the Booster Gold episode of Justice League Unlimited, right? That episode was fucking hilarious because I think it was Plastic Man and Elongated Man. I think they name dropped Plastic Man and they had Elongated Man. And I think Booster Gold was like, they took Elongated Man, but not me. In the end of the episode, Elongated Man apparently, because it was like this evil Thor looking character that they were fighting. And apparently Elongated Man defeated them. And it was like, oh man, good job, Elongated Man. And I was like laughing. I'm like, bruh.
I just remember Squeaky Wheel.
Oh man, but again, I think if you did Plastic Man, you're asking a lot because that's like a high profile character if you're doing Elongated Man. So it's
kind of Deadpool before Deadpool.
Yeah. But hey, look, if the Arrowverse is going to end on a strong note, why not end on two strong shows? And that's Stargirl and Superman and Lois. Stargirl had no business being as good as it was. Period.
Well, technically, Superman and Lois is not Arrowverse. It's its own separate thing.
I was just about to say.
Now it is. First season it was until they officially announced the Arrowverse is done. It was like, all right, we need to retcon some shit.
I'm gonna say they
because Diggle was basically like tying in the Arrowverse in the first season,
and they're
and
like
then when we got to the next season, it was like
different Diggle.
Yeah, different Diggle after was it? What was the last crossover? I think it was fuck. Yeah,
Armageddon was the last big crossover. Well, not crossover because
the one that involved all the crisis when all the Earths were gone and stuff.
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, Crisis on Infinite Earths. That was the one where when they got to the second season of Superman and Lois, Diggle was like, yeah, things have changed. And it's like Diggle got like cornrows and shit, and it's like way different. And like everybody was like, so is Superman and Lois in the Arrowverse? And that's when the show officially was like, nah, we're not in the Arrowverse.
They're like, nah, they exercise that like a cancer. Like, no, we're good.
We're good. We're
straight.
ourselves.
It's like that, like on
the tumor is gone.
Remember after Poochie went to his home planet, they put up a note that said that Poochie went to his planet and his rocket ship blew up on the wrong way.
Oh man, look, I look. If you had told me that they would do a Bizarro Soups, I would have been like, "How they gonna do it,
bro?"
We all thought it was Doomsday for a second.
I thought it was Doomsday for a second because he came out in the containment suit, right?
Yeah.
But then it turned out the season. No, it was Doomsday Alarm because he turned into Doomsday at the end.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, we got you twice. We got you twice, fans. We got you twice.
Hey, Doomsday and Superman Lois is actually pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie. That shit's hot.
that fucking Broly Goku charge they did at the end. Chef's kiss.
Yo, that's how you knew they were like a notch above CW because it's on HBO Max, so they can actually get some money towards
getting that HBO money, right? Superman can actually use his powers in the goddamn show.
Zaslav isn't writing the tax write-off on the special effects. It's actually like we're actually getting shit.
It's messed up, man.
Dude, it's the truth. I mean, yo, that's look, the fact that Superman Lois is even in the position that is in is crazy. But like Stargirl was the one that was like the dark horse of being a surprise because like I don't think people was really expecting much out of it just because at that point the Arrowverse and the Berlanti thing was basically dying off in a way. So it was like Stargirl. The fuck?
I feel like everybody gave up on that show pretty much before he even started. And, and Stargirl being who she is on the roster, I think, people, it is the one stupid thing. It's the one stupid thing. I hate how people always prove to me that the Batman rule is not a wrong thing to fucking do because y'all motherfuckers never show up for anybody else. So it's like, I felt like everybody just gave up on it because I remember a couple people who even knew comics like, why they giving Stargirl? Why they giving Stargirl the show?
Like,
because
I don't blame
John's waifu.
Like, I don't blame it, but at the same time, like, it kills me because we'll complain that, oh man, it's a character I will get. But if Batman showed up, y'all be in y'all feelings, stupid. When you gonna give us a different character? So it's like they keep proving y'all wrong, man.
As somebody that didn't know about Sportsmaster till Young Justice, and I was like, I love Jason Voorhees Sportsmaster. Give me more. Like,
boy,
look, you couldn't tell
me. You should have never showed me that shitty father.
And he was amazing in Stargirl.
Oh, yes, he was. They kept that energy up in that show.
So he was a piece of shit in that too?
Oh, yes.
Thank you. I just want toxic white men to have jobs.
Yo, when they put him in Young Justice, I was like, Sportsmaster, what the fuck? Oh shit, he actually got hands.
I like how Sportsmaster in Young Justice pretty much told Amethyst to her face, your mom was a bitch and I don't like your sister. And if you ask me for anything,
I ain't gonna lie.
Better not be when I'm drunk.
Ain't gonna lie. The balls on him to put his dick on the table and look at Deathstroke like, yeah, you Deathstroke, but you ain't shit, and shoots at his ass. I'm like, well, all right, we got a game.
Two shitty fathers going at each other like this. Ain't that a bitch?
Dude, by the way, they did put what was Deathstroke's daughter in Arrow? But they just put her as a different character.
Ravager.
Yeah, they put Ravager in Arrow, and it's
let's not talk.
It's the most throwaway.
They did. Ravager was like half Ravager, and they wait a minute. Was she not like
she was undercover inside the
But was she
Star
not
City.
like related? Was she not like related to him or something like that?
I don't think she was related. She was basically like a lieutenant to Deathstroke, and she just wore the same mask. I don't think she had any power sets. She just could fight good. That's about it.
And who? Hold on, because I'm gonna forget. I don't.
This old girl from Serenity,
Firefly,
Firefly,
and
yeah, Summer
Terminator.
Summer Law. Yeah,
God,
Summer Law.
I didn't. That's what I was like. But all right, who was the chick that Ollie and fucking Deathstroke were all crying about?
Oh, Huntress. No. It was
Cat,
the Asian guy that taught Ollie, his daughter.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Oliver broke the bro code.
Yeah, he broke the bro code. As I was sitting there burning in my face, and you fucked her. Or why?
Was it Shadow? Shadow?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I only brought that up for only one reason. It went on too long.
Speaking of which, you know the Arrowverse never revisit Huntress.
Never did.
Great. I love the actress as Huntress. By the way, they had something and then they just dropped it, and I'm like,
embargo.
She got embargo. She got embargo. Wow.
Bat Family. Why? Because she's part of the Bat Family. Okay, cool. All right, fine.
There was room, but
I'm not all the way mad at that. Then
there was rumors that she was going to come back for the Green Arrow and the Canaries.
See, it was fun seeing Mark Hamill show up doing Trickster.
Yeah,
shit,
it's great.
Shit like that is fun, man. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of sucks. Like,
I kind of like them bringing in the other Flash and the Stargirl to kind of keep that continuity in a way that Stargirl's on another Earth and such. Mm-hmm. Like, I actually thought that was great because again, it was like the Justice Society. Like, I was like, oh, they got Iron Man. They actually put Our Man into this fucking show. Our Man.
Speaking of which, I was just watching on that. God, what movie was that? Whatever the animated movie they came out.
Oh, Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Yeah. Not the Crisis on Two Earths. It was the one that came out before that, before War World. It was the World War II.
Oh, the World War II Justice League. Oh, was it
Justice Society.
Justice Society World War II.
Yeah. And my son was like, Our Man. Like, yes, son, Our Man. I don't know what that nigga does. That's how much I don't know about Iron Man. All I know is he got super strength for about 30 an hour,
and that's it. That's all. That's basically the power he has. He literally has the power for 1 hour.
It sounded like he was poisoning himself. You know what I mean? It's one of those things like, oh, you hold it for an hour. Well, you take another one the next hour. I can't do that. Why?
Brian remembers this. You remember in the 90s Spider-Man show, they brought in the Silver Age World War II heroes to fight that fought alongside Captain America. They had little rings and stuff that they makes them superpowers and stuff like that. That's what they were doing in that show. Just in terms of like, hey, know your history. This is the new generation, but this is the old generation kind of thing and stuff. That's what they were really doing in Stargirl. And hence why Icicle was like the main bad guy in the first season until the Shade popped up, which I actually like the Shade. Shade was actually pretty good in the show.
Different
well,
type
of. The Shade is always based, so it's kind of hard to do the Shade wrong.
Again, I had to watch a cartoon to know who the fuck Shade was. I was like, the Shade. Huh.
I'm gonna need y'all motherfuckers to go right now, hop on DC Universe. And I want you to look up the Starman comic from James Robinson, and we're gonna come back and have some conversations.
Okay.
Starman. Good lord, nigga. All right. Like, y'all keep on sending me on these excursions to know about these old white men. Thank you for that.
Not old white men. It's just like, yo, these are.
I'm playing, man. I'm playing. It's like the older the comic you get, that's anything that's older than 1980 is like, okay, it's gonna be one of them.
The Wizard, and it's like, all right, the Wizard. Gotcha.
Damn you, Batman! I am the blah or whatever his name is.
Look, this the reason why I think me and Prime are on the same wavelength of liking Brave and the Bold, because they'll pull out some fucking old ass characters.
Brave and the Bold was one of the greatest things that ever happened to my son as a 5-year-old. I got him. I downloaded all the episodes of that shit, and that motherfucker ate it. My son loved Batman, Brave and the Bold, man.
Look, you know how I feel. The deeper the bench pull, the harder I get. It's like, pull the motherfuckers off the bench.
Hey, bro, he made Green Arrow and Red Arrow, and Green Arrow treating his sidekick like a douche.
Oh my god, man! I loved it,
dude. When they showed OG Nightwing suit, not the one that we know and love, but the OG one
OJ
from
with the feathers
with
on
the
the
feather,
inside,
I was
with
like,
the
gold
nigga,
mullet.
feathers.
With the
with the mullet. I was like, yes,
Let's go.
Teen Titans Go did that for me too. When he showed up, he's like, "No, I'm Nightwing now." He had like a baby. He had a baby on. Like, "No, I'm Nightwing now." Like, "What are you wearing?" And he's like, "It was like, what are you wearing?" And of course, Starfire was looking at his hand.
Comic accurate.
DC is
Comic accurate.
DC has never beaten the allegations of always making Dick Grayson have a nice ass, and they're
I
being
am
very
mad.
very unapologetic about it too. It's
I
like
am
they do not
mad.
care.
That I'm one of my favorite writers of all time. I am mad how fucking she will fight for feminist shit, but if you tell Gail Simone to write something about Dick Grayson, she's like, "Oh my god, let's talk about his cock."
Especially when we got Secret Agent Dick Grayson, they were fighting to try to show
Secret
that ass.
Agent
Like,
Dick Grayson was still too fine. He was still look. I'm saying this as a straight man. I read half that Nightwing comic. Yeah, he was a ball of sex in that one too, man. I'm like, yo, tone it down.
It's like
Tone
if
it
007 can actually do some flips in the air.
That's
That's
double O dick, nigga. That's what that was. Hey,
no
look,
pun intended either.
no pun intended. That was double O.
Intend that pun because it's fucking true.
Oh
Dick
my-
Grayson is the universe's biggest man whore.
Yo, man.
Who would win the whore off? Dick
I gotta
Grayson
be,
or
I gotta be honest
Daredevil?
with you. That might be why CW never did a Nightwing show, because that means Ollie has to compete with somebody better looking than him.
Not only better
With a
looking,
bigger
real-
whore.
Thank you, bigger whore than he is.
I like how even if you did that, and this is just me being a Dick Grayson stan, it's like Ollie was like, "No, I'm the leader. If Batman dies tomorrow, I'm Batman. I'm in charge, nigga." Like that's the way I see it.
Dick
Like,
would have
hold on.
sat there and slept with.
Whoa. Who you think's in training to be that dude up in Gotham right now?
Dick would have slept with Laurel. He would have slept with Sarah.
Sarah would be a straight woman.
He would
no pansexual, no fluid crap she be doing on the show. No, she would be I'm Dick Grayson. That's my.
He would have slept with evil Laura from Earth 2.
Yeah.
Just cause.
Siren. Oh, I like it. She yells.
He would have slept with Black Canary 3 and 4 just cause,
Vixen better not bring her little fine brown ass around him.
Oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
It.
He would have slept with what's her face? Ollie's wife, girlfriend, whatever. Fuck.
Felicity?
Felicity. He slept with Felicity. Or
Yes,
at least
he
tried to. Or at least tried
Yes, he
to.
would have. Yes, it would.
Think Felicity would've
Speaking of people that pissed me off of that show, thank you.
Felicity.
Boy, did somebody with a broken hand started writing her in season 4? Because she just everything she did was annoying.
She was here, and then
how do you go from being I like you on the level of Barbara Gordon to ill? Like, yo, she became every white woman. Like, I never understood.
I think that's what it was. Somebody was
Woo!
like, nah,
Exactly.
we can't have her being independent. Nah, make her annoying.
She's too fucking competent. We can't have that.
Wait. People actually like her. Wrap
No,
this shit
no.
up.
Wrap it
Can't
up.
have none of that.
Come
She
on, what the
becomes
fuck
the
we
relu-
doing? We're the CW. What are we doing here?
She becomes the reluctant stepmother to, because Oliver's mom is that much of a piece of shit that she pays off the baby mama millions upon millions of dollars.
Oh my god!
You could have kept that, CW. You could have kept
that.
You
didn't have to do all that.
First of all, you could have actually made his son fucking Connor Hawk.
And we
like
could have
he is
got
in the goddamn book.
Nah, they ran away from that shit. They ran
Remember
away.
when we went to the future and everybody got excited thinking that was going to be his son? And actually it was just it was just some random nigga that so happened had the name Randall.
Do you know how fucking mad I was? Do you realize how mad I was? There was an episode where Oliver was in his fucking base and he said, "Let me lead. Everyone else, please lead. Let me talk to my kid." And a character named Connor Hawk walked out the room. Do you know how fucking mad I was? You could have fucking boiled an egg on my fucking chest. I was fucking heated.
And the kid, even
mad
when he
as fuck.
got older, wasn't even competent enough to be a fighter to make me believe that he could be that guy. That's the shitty part too. It's like So what was your purpose again, other than just being like, oh, I got kidnapped, yay?
Why would you? And then like I remember some people going like, why would they give Oliver a black kid? Because they did it in the comic book. But like, so you saying that Oliver can't sleep with a black person? Are you a fucking racist?
Sounds racist. Sounds very racist.
Hey, Prime, I'm gonna be devil's advocate. No, we're not saying that. Stephen Amell looked like he was.
You know what? Let's reconceptualize it, and I kind of see what you're saying now. Okay.
Stephen Amell was in that writer's room like, no.
Sorry, I sleep with what?
A black woman.
What's her shade? No, he just says, "What's her shade?"
Holds up a fucking paper bag. Darker than this? No, wrong.
That's not gonna work.
Wow.
Can we get her
That's
looking?
not gonna be for me.
Hold on.
Is in my contract?
He's the guy that will literally be like, so can she look like, Grant's daughter in the show? That light? Can we get that? Is it possible? Can we get that?
No, they may be 2 shades too darker. She got a little lighter than that.
I gotta be like this. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I gotta be in the casting room when it happens. Am I allowed to do?
Is there a line? Am I going to get Me Too'd? Is that going to happen?
Oh, that happened on that show at least 4 or 5 times. Somebody said that on set.
Of course, because John Barrowman was on set. Somebody got Me Too'd. Let's be real.
Hey, look. We love John Barrowman, and he chewed the scenery as Dark
John Barrowman.
Like he was great. I love
John Barrowman knew this was going to be his last big thing. He knew
Doctor Who.
Well, Doctor Who, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
This
actually, wait a minute, I was saying.
Oh yeah, it was that.
Let's put it this way: he knew that. Hey, I'm surfboarding this shit, nigga. like, yo.
Hey, even his surfboard was still primo. It was still good. Like there are actors that can coast.
I can be straight with a twist of gay. Like that's how good he was. That's how he would. That's how he acts.
That's your son, huh? Interesting.
Couldn't be me.
As I plug,
got caught slipping, did you, Oliver?
As I put 2 arrows in my son. Hey, I love how when we finally got Speedy. We got 2 different. We got a sister who he nicknamed Speedy.
Oh god!
But then we get the other guy who ends up becoming Red Arrow. But then like he's doing so many unnecessary flips and shit that I'm like,
who did he bang out when he became Arsenal? Then he like got with the chick and just disappeared. He banged out Speedy, right?
Yeah. He banged out Speedy.
Okay. I kind of got confused.
They went on a little trip and she came back, and then he kind of occasionally came back and guest appearances and stuff, and that was it.
And he was Arsenal. He wasn't. He was.
No, he was Arsenal. He was Arsenal.
Yeah,
he was Arsenal. Yeah, he was on the Deathstroke drug, and then he got off of it, and then he ended up becoming.
By the way, I still to this day say that was a character that DC never wanted to make, and they just got stuck. Like I feel that Arsenal was a character they never wanted to make, and they went with it. It was like, fuck, people still like Roy. Keep it going.
Hey, I like what they did with them in Young Justice though. With that, it's like, oh, so we got.
I like how they split this nigga up.
They get my 3 Roys in a Nightwing.
My three Roys. I thought that was
by the way, that is the greatest episode ever. It's like we got 3 Roys in a Nightwing.
Nah, one of my favorite parts about the whole storyline. Here your boy up in a house of art with Artemis, sweating like a motherfucker. Artemis just looking at him funny, like, oh shit, I can't sleep with her.
That was like a whole season of Young Justice where she was like, they were both kind of in this awkward, like, I mean, I know I'm a clone. I know we don't vibe like that, but can we be a family?
Take care of my kid. Oh Lord. Your sister better bring her ass in. Oh, thank God. Shut up. What's up? Nah, I want y'all to sleep with your sister.
Hey, shout out to China White in Arrow. Loved her. Shout out to Katana.
I have nothing. I forgot Katana was even.
That and again, great actors that played it, but it came out of nowhere. I was like, "That's Katana." So we gonna do anything with
You
her?
think that she
Don't
would have
you
got
love-
embargoed? You thought she would have got embargoed?
She did. That's why she never
She
fucking
did.
came back.
Oh, yeah.
Again,
Love
Arrow
it,
do
love it,
all
love
the
it,
shows
love
doing
it,
that shit.
love
And you're
it.
like, do we gonna come back to that? Oh, embargo. Fuck.
Oh. Thanks,
You thought that was
WB.
gonna be- you
Appreciate
thought
it.
that was going to be a thing. I'm sorry
Hey,
about
I
that.
ain't gonna lie though. I was happy when Michael J. White came back as Bronze Tiger. I was like, yes.
That was during that time where Michael J. White was, he still ain't off that tip of doing B movies and can just say, oh, pause, I'll be back. That was during that
Here's the
time.
thing, Michael J. White, to his credit, if you told me, look, this is just my fan theory. If somebody there was like, hey, Mike, we might do a Bronze Tiger movie. We kind of want you as Bronze Tiger. You know, he'll say yes. You know, the script could be shit, but he'd be like, I'm doing it. Fuck it. It's going to be me fighting.
Michael J.
All
White
right,
has
cool.
proven to me he don't care what the script looked like. Am I going to be center stage? Do I get to do
Do I get to kick somebody in the
do I,
face?
do I get to do that the little backflip and do the little wah kick? I like the little roundhouse jump I like doing in every movie. Cool. All right.
All right,
I
cool.
gotta look superior to the whole film until the end. Got to be the right person. They got to believe that person can kick my ass.
But I gotta wonder though, if after the Arrowverse, do you see WB revisiting TV beyond just Peacemaker? Do you see them actually?
think they will.
Do you think they're going to do something similar to the Arrowverse?
I don't think similar to the Arrowverse. I think this is lightning in a bottle. Like, this is never going to happen again. Like, this is unprecedented. It's
Oh, it was unprecedented.
Six interconnected TV shows tearing one long narrative. It's never going to happen again.
Multiple team ups.
I agree. I agree. As much as I
Nah.
think they can put out another show, it's not going to be on the same level of melodrama and not on the same level of. Here's the funny thing. I hate saying cheapness because they're limited in budget, you have to do different stuff. So
Right.
I don't think that will come across that anymore where you have such a low budget or something. TV will have to change up a little bit for them to put it on national TV.
Right.
That's the
Like,
way
and I feel like you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot trying to chase that dragon of the DCCW. I'm sorry, the Arrowverse.
Yeah,
You're going to be
yeah.
shooting yourself in the foot doing that. So you might as well just go back to doing your standard superhero shows. And if something like organically grows from that, then whatever happens.
Yeah.
But don't just be sitting down going, okay, we're going to do a question TV show and that's going to lead into Captain Atom. Nah, man, slow down.
Look, this is exactly
pump the
how
brakes.
this is exactly how Swamp Thing got canceled because they got so ambitious. And that was like, look, if you've seen it, D, that first
I
season.
seen it.
Oh, Swamp Thing that show
Good.
had no fucking business
It
being
was really good.
and then it was like, nah, too much
But
money.
you can tell
Cancel.
that nobody was going to watch that. Like, we can blame it on the app all we want. I had this feeling that it wasn't going to grow from that anyway.
Or at least
It wasn't the app, it wasn't the show. It was whoever was counting the pennies because they got a tax write-off for where they were filming, but somebody put a zero in the wrong place and they were being charged cheaper than they should have been, and that's what killed the show.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
because I mean,
But then again, like we say this, and then you look across the street and you see how I feel that Doom Patrol ducked a axe.
we're gonna
I
talk
think they
about Doom
ducked the
Patrol in
axe.
another episode
I
because
feel like they
that
ducked
shit-
the
that
axe and they got lucky.
And I'm
Doom
glad
Patrol-
they did because Doom Patrol was fucking excellent.
Doom Patrol had no.
I ain't watched the
business-
last season. I kind of don't. I
Oh.
watched 3 seasons.
Oh, it's
of
great.
it.
It's great.
Oh man, I wish I could be you because I want to have something to look forward to.
Hey, look, Doom Patrol, much like Stargirl, you're like, son of a bitch, this shit. Because look,
Doom
ain't gonna
Patrol was
lie.
my favorite show. Like, period.
I-
It was my favorite show for like
Look,
2
look.
seasons, bro. Especially
all-
during COVID.
we all turned into Shaq in that meme. Like, I owe you an apology. I didn't recognize your game because we cracked on my man playing Cyborg. And then we watched the show and I was like, this motherfucker's a good ass cyborg. Fuck. Like, goddamn.
The show caught me off guard where, because like I know Doom Patrol, I know these characters, I know this. How you gonna go about it? It's so wacky, it's so dumb, and you get done with that first season. These niggas nailed it.
Son of a
How did
bitch.
they do it?
And the ones that didn't get it were
I
like,
bet this
"What
show is so
this?"
good. This show is so good. I'm pretty sure Grant Morrison actually watched that episode. Like, is that
Actually,
good?
Low key, the funniest shit ever that was sort of a crossover. God, it was a dark ass episode. Remember Young Justice when Beast Boy is going through and he's taking drugs and he's remembering when he was on
Loved
Doom Patrol
Loved it.
and they did the Teen Titans Go on
Titans
Doom
Go.
Patrol. I was like,
Loved it.
yo, they really sat there and did the whole DEATH death. I'm like, whoa, what is going?
Loved it. Loved
Trauma.
it. Loved it.
Delicious trauma.
I loved it.
Whew.
Me and the wife was, because we love Greg Sipes, but we kind of don't give a fuck about Beast Boy. We was like, kill yourself. Kill yourself. Like, come on, Beastie. He ain't gonna do it.
That was because that was like some crazy ass shit. I was like,
you know what did that? Because he was so, come on, guys, we're the Young Justice. He was so happy. And all of a sudden, when reality hit his ass, and he started taking
pills.
his nigga started
Taking his uppers.
The motherfucker started bumping.
I gotta be real. There's
Look,
something
Buddy
funny-
got me. He walked downstairs. Hey, Gar, we're about to go on a mission. That's cool. It just walked upstairs.
Look, there is something crazy. There is something funny but great when cartoons actually will go that way and it's done so well. You're like, oh my god,
Boy, I was like,
oh
yo,
my god.
my wife is like, he doing this too good. Somebody call Greg Sipes to see if he okay. See if Greg going through something in his life.
Nah. It was really see. Once he went live and he was all happy with his dog, it was like, okay, Greg's good. He's fine.
Great, he's good, y'all. We need
That's the dog. He's happy.
Get a
He's
check.
happy.
Get a check on this nigga, because boy, I was like, any day now they gonna walk in it. Any day now they gonna walk in the tower. They gonna find him on the bed like this, pills everywhere.
But nah, Prime is right
Oh,
though.
God.
Like
Grandma Goodness beat the hope out this nigga. I am Granny Goodness is my hero because
also, if they ever do live action Granny Goodness, you better get somebody that makes me believe they can beat hope out of a kid.
Oh
That's
my
all I'm
God.
saying.
No, look. Here's my thing. I will say this. I was mad at Young Justice because when Granny started talking, I'm like, it's a normal woman.
Same time.
Boy, because when Ed Eisner used to do her voice, hearing Granny Goodness, to hear that baritone hop out, I was like, yes.
But you're right, Rob. You can't do the Arrow.
Oh,
You
God.
can't do the Arrowverse. And like I said, right now, Peacemaker is like the closest they got to any sort of crossover in a loose way, which it works because it's Peacemaker and Gunn. To his credit, he knows how to balance both because I remember he was one of the people that kind of basically critiqued a lot of stuff in the MCU where he was like, yeah, we don't have to do these overt crossovers to do this.
I feel like Peacemaker was lightning in a bottle too.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think nobody expected John Cena to make that character so alive.
Again,
you know what I mean?
You saw me when I light up on that first trailer and I saw Peacemaker. I was like, it's Peacemaker. He looked at me like say Peacemaker? Really? I was like, it's Peacemaker, man. Come on.
Ratcatcher was bad enough. I'm like, Ratcatcher, nigga?
Mongol? Like,
Mongol. And I told
Javelin?
myself when I saw Mongol, I was like, she ain't gonna make it.
Oh no, Prime was the one that first said Boomerang, Javelin, ETK, they're done. I was like,
I knew
Prime.
ETK wasn't gonna make it.
I was like, I don't know, Prime.
Already
ETK
knew.
might make it. Maybe. It's possible.
The only one that got me, I will never forget this. It was my second time going through the movie. At this point, my wife and my kids are watching it. The second Boomerang guy hit, all of them. No!
John Courtney's career.
No, John Courtney, we need you.
But if I know Gunn, bring him back in the next movie and don't even fucking explain it. Just bring him back. Fuck it. Don't explain shit. He's just on the helicopter and everybody's looking at him like, didn't you die? I thought so too.
I'm sorry, that just reminded me of my other favorite part when Javelin was talking and Harley. To do what? To do what?
But you know what, D? I'll say this.
Oh, I love that movie so much. I love that second movie so much.
I am so glad that me and you, we were able to partake in the Arrowverse to varying degrees actually all three of us in some way, shape, or form, we were able to partake in the Arrowverse in funny ways and just like experience the whole highs and lows of it and just joke even at its lows. Like it's because that's where it just net results. It's like when it was bad, it's like the show's gonna get these jokes. Sorry. That's just how it is.
I'm just upset though. If anything I can say, I really mean it. I am upset the way the Flash went out. Other than that, that's how television is. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. And anything that goes a little bit too long is going to end up that way anyway. But talking about this has made me think, oh my God, I need to watch Stargirl. I never watched that one.
But also, I can tell my kids in my lifetime, hey kids, Green Arrow had an 8-season show, and they can't look at me and say, "Get the fuck out of here, Dad," anymore.
Like, yeah, sure, Dad. Get back to bed.
Nobody gives a fuck about Oliver Queen, Dad.
Speedy is where it's at. Fuck you, son. I hate you.
Nah. If you're look. If my kids, it's nice, Dad. It's all about anime right now. We're teenagers, okay? So it's a little bit different.
No, it's gonna be Mount Wall for them. Webtoons and Manwall.
Oh.
I am so mad at my kid. Like my kids when the actually it's kind of funny when the Arrowverse kind of ended their love for, I would say, comic books ended, but let's just be real, man. Dragon Ball Super was getting hot. Jutsu Kaisen just came out. My son really, and both my sons, for whatever reason, want to become losers, so they love One Piece. So it's like, hey, you can't fight that.
First off, sir, we would not tolerate One Piece land.
Hey, and second of all, Yamcha is solo in the whole show. But anyway,
it's a different discussion altogether on that, And
Chris, I have actually eased up off of One Piece. I'm just not a fan. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. I do understand how everybody get hyped the second this nigga eat a different piece of fruit. I understand it. I ain't saying I'm a fan. I understand it.
Also, RIP to the many a podcast that were eating off the Arrowverse, and then when they ended, they just disappeared.
Just poof.
Ooh, we know several people that stayed up the butthole of Black Lightning and no longer talks about anything that's around a comic book right now.
Bruh, man,
how people dropped it, bro.
Don't get it twisted. Did 3BG benefit from Arrowverse? A little bit.
Right,
we got some boosts from it and stuff. But
right, we did.
There was a lot of people that their whole podcast and everything was structured around the Arrowverse, and I'm like,
for the deepest part of my heart, because of the Arrowverse and because me and Chris actually sat down and watched every episode of that shit, I got to meet one of the most important people in films, which is Bill Duke. So you can't cut that away from me. I got an experience from that shit. I got to see how these shows are made. Really, it was actually kind of cool seeing how they did the show with all the rest of that. We're sitting in their living room and everything like that. We're like, wow, this is kind of wild that all this is a soundstage in the middle of Decatur, Georgia. You know what I mean?
Dog. It is fucking hilarious because as soon as that Flash movie dropped, everybody's like, well, Grant, maybe we were too harsh to you, okay? Maybe we were a little bit too harsh.
All right, first off, I was always Team Gustin. All right. First off, I always was. But you're absolutely right. There were so many people that was like, well, you know what, Greg Gustin wanted to be. Oh, now he ain't.
Now you did.
Now because the other one went crazy and started locking children in his basement and stuff.
It's like, nah. Ooh, which is ironic.
Ezra almost killed the Flash for my son, and that actually hurts me because my second son loves the Flash. He almost killed it for him.
Which is ironic because in retrospect, Steve Amell going to bat for Grant Gustin when they announced Ezra Miller as Flash, it looks really good.
It looks good in hindsight, doesn't it?
Because everybody's looking at Steve like, yo, they looked at Steve like they told Steve to shut the fuck up. This is our Flash. Ezra.
That dude had targets on him of like people that had apples, tomatoes, zucchinis, and everything else they had ready thrown on stage.
You know what? Steven needed something. He needed a win.
He needed a win.
In hindsight, he needed something.
He got that win. He got the last laugh.
He didn't get the last on the picket line, though, so good for him.
I will never forget that. That's the funny thing. To this day,
that solidified he was never a liberal Ollie right there.
Look on his face when he was on that picket line, I was like, I was with the dude that said it on TikTok. I want to be a fly in the room of his agent on the phone telling him, if you don't shut up and get your butt on that picket line. Oh, I would love to be a fly in that room. Muted.
Like, if you don't get your ass on that front row, motherfucker.
Boy, Steve looks so
Did you
defeated.
see
He
the
looks
look
so
on his
defeated.
face? I
looks
want it
so
on a
defeated.
t-shirt so bad.
Stephen, people don't realize, look, I love Stephen Bell, but there were times where it's like, hey, Steve, I don't have to kill you, but I don't have to save you either. You're on your own there, buddy.
You ain't lying. Stephen Bell stopped getting that from me the second AEW started inviting this nigga on the show, and this nigga thought he was a real wrestler. And it was like, hey, Steve, Arrow just ended. I'm gonna need you to bring it in, bro. Ain't nobody about to watch that wrestling show. Actually, I heard that show is actually pretty good.
Oh yeah.
What's the name of that show?
Heels.
Grapple, huh?
No, Heels.
Heels. I was like Grapple.
Anyway, Heels. Yeah, it's actually a really good show.
I heard it's actually a good show. I can't judge, but still, I laugh at the fact that like, who made you get on that picket line?
Steve literally went to bat for Gustin, like Prime said. They threw zucchinis and everything at him and shit. And it's like, dude, he had every right. That's his boy. Like, that's Ace Spookhoon right there. Like, yo, of course he gonna sit there and say, hey.
And shout out for the Flash also. Getting your boy say, look, man, we getting Jay Garrick on the show. We're gonna use you as Jay Garrick. But I was Barry, shut the fuck up, you're Jay Garrick now. Can you at least do this? Like, yeah, all right, come on here.
Hey,
don't worry, we'll get the rest.
Hey, John Wesley Shipp was picking up paychecks on the Flash. He goes in there, Barry's dad, Jay Garrick and Stargirl. He was like, hey, you need me on there? All right, cool, I'll suit up. Let's go.
And it was one of those things where if you did have an appreciation from the Flash, he was like, Jay Garrick, like, that's the first Flash, bro. That's the first one. And the fact that he did it because he did the old show and all that. My father-in-law, God rest his soul, that was one of his favorite things about the Flash. When he saw old man Flash, like, hey, yeah, he was from the old show in the 90s. He loved that shit. So yeah, I thought it was one of the coolest things they did, man. I really thought that was one of the coolest things they did.
Also, the fact that hey, look, if you're a person, I think Prime is a very prominent person for this. If you're trying to get the physical copies of the Arrowverse, you can buy them on Blu-ray and DVD still. So I would get them while you can before Zaslav comes in and snatches it from you and shit. You know. Just saying.
I swear to God, it's amazing that he became Cobra Commander within weeks of owning overnight over there in WB. Because when they got him over there, did you see what he did for Discovery? Like, everybody said that. And the second the old Warner Brothers, he's like, I'm cutting this. What is that? Is that Looney Tunes? Yeah, I'm cutting that.
That's a nice Batgirl movie that's done. Be a shame if we didn't release it.
What's this? Let me see what this. It's a plot for a new Popeye movie. Well, gotta have to say no to this. I'm sorry, that's profit.
Tax cuts. Got pocket this money.
I will never forgive
that yacht ain't paying itself.
I will never forgive that man for looking. I sat and told my wife the plot of Wiley versus Acme, and she was like, so when's it coming out? It's not. Because let me know. The first thing I told her was Acme versus, I said Wiley versus Acme. It's a movie about, and she stopped me and she just started cracking up. She was like, oh my God. Okay. So what's the movie about? And I told her, she's like, oh my God, it's going to be so funny. It's not coming out. Huh? What do you mean it's not coming out?
But anyways.
I will never forgive him for that, man. But yeah, you're right. Get him right. Get him while it's hot.
Get him while you can. So with that in mind, it's been a long episode, but it's fitting for the Arrowverse because we gotta leave no stone unturned. You know, it was good times. Much like with Smallville, when we sent off Smallville, it's the same thing here. It's kind of amazing. We were through the era of Smallville, and now we're through the era of the Berlantiverse. Now we're in the Gunn, I guess, era now. So
we'll see.
We'll see. Even though we know CW has switched gears on what they want as TV now. So.
Yeah, they say get this superhero shit the fuck off the channel. You know how much this shit costs? Get this shit off my channel.
I lost friends doing this shit.
I'm
We
mad
had,
they really look.
we had a chance to get some big time show. We were going to show young Sheldon on here. No, we weren't, but I'm just saying we could have.
I'm mad they really looked at Berlanti and was like, "Fuck your superheroes, get him out of here."
Give it
Get
up to
them,
Berlanti for saying, monopolize. Boy, you got to be, you look at everything, you better be glad he didn't get Batman. You better be glad he did it.
Boy, he tried though. Boy, he was in it. He was in it.
Seasons too.
He went every which way but at Batman.
Hey, you know he was punching air when Fox got Gotham. He was like, "Son of a bitch, they got my shit." You
Like,
know
that's
he
all
was-
right. That's
you
all right.
imagine if we
I'll
did-
just get Nightwing instead. How about that?
That would have been great.
Side note, I feel
What do you
bad.
mean it would have been? You didn't watch Titans, my man?
Yeah,
Oh
Titans.
yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
about Titans. I forgot about Titans. And I forgot that was Berlanti. Yeah, I forgot that was his. I forgot. Fuck Batman. You know that no, for real talk, that show never recovered because of that line, to be honest with you, and I hated that so much. Because somebody said, "Why would Robert say that? This is so stupid." I'm like, Nightwing and everybody else, come on, man. Don't do this to me. It's a black girl in Starfire. Come on, let's look.
Black Girl Magic.
Black Girl Magic.
Black Girl. Got two black girls, two fine black women, by the way.
What's the word?
I understand Superboy.
Tamaranian lives matter, nigga. Come on,
Hey,
now.
bro. Superboy, when he look, when he got with
You got that
Blackfire-
taste? Look, I
it was a
understand.
rap. It was a rap.
Bro,
It was a rap.
support me and you. We here. I understand you, bro.
We see it. We see the vision. We see
I
the vision.
understand.
Oh, D, I don't know if you saw it. Blackfire was literally flirting with him in the Blackfire way where she was like throwing knives at him. He caught it like, "This doesn't kill me. Like, are you flirting with me? I mean, I
He's
like you.
Oh,
Cool."
I got something that will kill you, boy. Come here.
Hike that whole leg up like in the meme. Put your whole leg up there. So what you doing?
Superboy just looking at her like, "So we having sex? I mean, that's cool." Cool.
Nah, man. Blackfire is the type of girl that would do a split and direct you how to go to her bedroom with her feet. Oh, it's up there, baby. Oh.
That is exactly the energy she was exuding in that show, sir. Titans. One day I'll talk about you. One day.
I need to watch the rest of Titans. I really do. Actually,
You really don't. You really don't.
Look. I watched the heat death of Arrow. I can watch.
These are facts. You survive one thing. You can probably look. I survived Naomi. All right.
I still want to watch Naomi. You keep on telling me not to. I'm a grown man. I can do it.
Dude, you're gonna be like Cuba Gooding and Boys in the Hood. You're gonna be like,
oh God, dog. All right, anyway.
Anyways, that is it for Comic Book Corner. Catch you guys later. Thanks for joining in. Peace.
Auf Wiedersehen, dudes.